What is he using? He's going to go to him. He's going to be buying the ghost or something.
Because I don't know whether Sentinels approved that in the marketing budget.
Where is it?
Where is it?
He's got a knife out. Is this their POV? Yeah, it is! It's a SEN Classic!
Find you.
5 gifted. Straight to the account.
Well,
And this is a
getting
deep
something
push.
out
I
of it.
mean, he's being squeezed here. Isolated on an island early on. He's been actually, given a bit of a respite as EG react now into the A site. But it's a fast play from the rest of Sentinels here, making sure the Snakebite goes out flying here for JungQT to delay.
Celsius taking a little bit of space up towards front B. He's going to be in a position to hear anybody that would be running, pathing back towards C. So Celsius is going to be getting nice info and can tell the rest of his team to force stack A.
There's a lot of noise being made. Holding for the paranoia. All the angles watched for. Second Prowler now going to be used with the smoke propped up. Zekken absolutely decimates Nature. Good night. Nade rebounding. Now Apov did find that kill into the front section of B main. Allows them to pivot into the B side if they so wish. Only have to really contest and tangle with one more player. That's up in heaven. That's going to be Sassy.
30 seconds.
He's going to be feeling that heat now with a Satchel through. Breakneck pace. Be able to get that plant down.
Both fades using the Cs. Does Sentinels have enough utility to get back through this area that Derek's watching?
Risky angle to be taking that fight at. So
The SEN Classic, it won't betray its master.
it really won't. It truly will not. But how do they clear Superman? He's tugged onto that 90-degree angle, but wants to take the fight to them anyway with the right clicks. Okay, why not? Straight forward, JungQT. Eventually going down here. Left clicks doing enough work here for a 1 versus 1. Sassy, the tap. The camera taken out. It's the confirmation that Sassy now actually sticking and missing onto the cam. Sassy! Not going to be able to get it all the way. That's EG taking the first pistol round here in our series.
Great round from Apov. What a start for EG there. I was highlighting the fact that Celsius had got himself into a good macro position, and Apov lurks his way up B while the rest of the team is doing this kind of pause play. And this is the kill here that turns the round for EG. Yes, it's a 4v4, but because Sen had gone for such a stack on A, it gave them access to the B site and allowed them to complete this post. And actually, the way that Sen are defending B was one of the biggest changes that I noticed between their Lotus previously, when Kaplan was saying it was a bit predictable on defense, and what they were doing now. Now, of course, they were also doing a lot of these mound contests on defense. Something we pointed out the last time we were casting the Sen game is that they weren't really coming up against a team that was using that more meta Omen smoke that you'll see the attackers throw kind of to the left of this first choke point that Jorg's at.
Something smells up here for EG.
Yeah, for sure.
They've sniffed it out.
They're just slowly making their way in towards A here. It doesn't look like there's too much danger.
Celsius using the wall to reposition. Goes up. Close. Weaving in and out. He's got himself one, but surely not any more than that. It's not going to be cleaned up, though. He's really still staying alive, and they haven't cleaned him up. Eventually, though, through the box, damage being done with the guns, and Superman making sure that he contains that flank.
Nice cleanup. A few confidence kills for Jorg as well, who I would absolutely agree with the desk, has got to be the X factor for EG. Yep. Of course he does. He's the player that they retained from that championship winning roster. And it's not like Jorg was just some supportive element, like somebody getting carried throughout that champs run.
Oh, he's the tip of the spear.
He was going in there on a lot of the maps, especially all the ones where he was playing Raze, and Demon 1 ended up being on smokes. And he was opening things up for that team. He was on fire in their big games, and it has been a slump recently for Jorg. Not over a long period of time, nothing that he can't shake off, but just something you don't want to make a pattern of, for sure.
Just the recent appearances. But for now, with all those early kills going his way, one away now from the showstopper. Big ultimate to get online.
Yeah, it's the perfect beginning.
But this is JungQT seeking to punish it. Look at this, off the orb tap. Off that noise, sending a few stray bullets out along with a snake bite.
There's a little bit of damage done there. Zelsis is now getting into the smoke.
Off the mark, though. That's the second snake bite now going to be used. The Paranoia will clear John QT out of there. Respect this one. Tree control going to be lost for them. Now the showstopper. Oh, he's missing that.
Did he not see
Potentially
Zelsis?
an easy kill into Zelsis, but he is going to be eventually brought down and toppled, still holding until the end of the fuse. Rebounding, John QT will fall. 3 now left to stand here for Sentinels to make a good go of things, and Tens is only just rotating his way over towards the site.
This is a phenomenal opening for EG, but another 5v3 that they cannot afford to lose. Lighter weapons, but they have to convert rounds like this.
The advantages that have been letting slip. Jorgamo, low on HP, might choose to take the timing right through this smoke. Second with the nade. Clearing out through, but right from behind, it's Jorgamo who strikes. Forward second, overwhelmed from every possible position there. So 3 in a row now for EG. Very, very strong position. And start for them. I mean, converting the bonus round, as best as you can really hope for.
Yeah, that's an excellent beginning. Loading all of those kills early onto Jorgamo, you see what difference it makes. Yes, he does catch a glimpse. At least if Jorg wasn't paying attention, that will have come up on radar.
One enemy remaining.
You know, influence the fact that Zelsis ended up going down. On top of that, Jorg also gets the kill. Kaplan's not happy about it. Sen found it difficult to wake up in a couple of games ago.
Yeah, and
playing the Lotus game against Leviathan.
It felt like in the MIBR match that fire was reignited. You know, the team definitely wanted to win.
But to be honest with you, I feel like they've been playing fairly well so far in this game. It's only 3 rounds in. But the way that they played there on the bonus, they still had a lot of good ideas. They knew to try to deny the orb from Jorg. They were spamming it. They didn't get the kill.
A critical punish.
It makes such a difference if this guy is on.
Door open wide. So you're going to take the fight Jay straight through B main after losing control of this one. Apoth cleaning up straggler that is Tens. And yeah, it does make, massive difference to Jorgamo just playing lights out. That championship form that we know that, he's been at the peak of before. Hasn't quite delivered up to it. Again, my mind's kind of circling back to the beginning of this. Liz is doing all the interviews with Potter. And Potter was saying that it's Sentinels that are going to be feeling all the pressure from this.
Spike planted.
Win or lose, she said, we don't care. We don't care, win or lose, which is honestly a crazy statement to make. But with the position that they're at in terms of their table, in their group, in stage 1, it's got to that point, right, where, it feels like playoffs is a bit of a distant dream for this team.
Yes, EG are 0-3 playing against the Masters Madrid winners. They should be considered underdogs, even if you live and breathe evil geniuses. You got to admit it. But that doesn't mean they can't win or put up a fight and put the pressure onto Sen. And as for pressure, Sen's not a lock, having lost 1 game so far already. And another match up against Loud, which you never know what kind of Loud you're going to get. Maybe Loud could end up being really good at that point. Sen still need some of these wins to feel comfortable about their position, and also getting top seed in groups and stuff like that ends up being really important. Every game is worth a point. Yeah. These kind of things, they're going to add up. You can't let winnable games like this slip away from you.
And Sen are in quite a competitive group themselves, to be honest. Almost all the teams are really overperforming, exceeding that minimum 2-win threshold.
Very true.
It's an unusual format for them, but here we go. Some guns in the hands of the defensive players that are Sentinels to see if they can fight back and bounce back.
And I just want to point out, look at that. 2 away already from another showstopper from Jorg. Sen looking to try to dominate the A ult orb, and EG have brought it towards B.
Here we go. Paranoia actually missing that, but well, getting his sight and gun locked onto the angle. Sassy, no match for it. Hearing that reload as well. They're just guns out, wading right into them. This is pure aggression on display. The Sentinels left reeling here. Tens in a 1v3. Spike being dropped down for him. Only one thing really to work for, and it's going to be faced doubled up, isolating into the 1v1. 4 bullets left. Tag still in him, revealed entirely. He's dodging, he's dancing. Tip-tap at the toes. The snake bite narrowly avoided 1 single bullet. The reload. Call a pause into the round. Anything you like, really, at this point. Nature just mans up, finds the minerals to just take it to him.
I'll choke their
I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't very worried that EG were about to throw that one away. We were talking so much about EG closing out those rounds where they have a massive player advantage. The strat was amazing. Jorg goes in, looking fantastic. They carry on the aggression in the waterfall.
One enemy remaining.
And the Tens almost ripped it away from them. Composure from nature towards the end. Tens had many different ways of playing that too. He had teleports and ults that he could have tried to work with, but he was so confident in his aim. And nature ended up edging through a smoke.
What a turnaround for Jorg. I mean, that's kind of highlighting as well, but this guy has just been slumping recently. The fact that he turned up this next ult. Round 6 now. Timeout taken. On the other side of things here for Sentinels, you have to see a turnaround.
Okay, so they're playing this trap play here. If Apoth comes towards B, it's going to be a Prowler in his face and Zekken ulting to try to get a kill. This has worked against EG before, many times. Apoth has fallen to this fairly often. And now as it gets to about 120 on the clock, Sen are like, okay, we can't still commit 3 bodies to B. We're going to have to try to force the fight and then back. Yeah. So now Apoth filling in this space as Sen look to spread out elsewhere. But EG, with nature, are just kind of drifting into the right spots here. This is such a large hole in the defense right now over towards A. With everybody on Sen gambling that it would be a C hit.
JohnQT knows it. Look at his position. I mean, he has to hold essentially the 2 avenues and give up A entirely with the door opening. It's going to be a big indicator. Prowler getting broken, though. You know that somebody's lurking.
Yeah, but
I don't know how many.
As soon as the plant goes down here, they're going to get a good idea that it's only Apoth. Yeah. EG love doing these 4-1 defaults. It's not normal that Apoth has somebody with him. I think at this point, Sen are going to have a good visualization of where people are, but that's less than half the battle.
I'm playing this post plant. Ult's online here for Zekken. He's going to be using this one to try and pave the way for the rest of his team to get into this site now. Through the back of the smokes. Cutting up these appropriate angles. Paranoia on top of it. Now being offloaded and let rip. But it's a rocket for a rocket and a kill for a kill. Drawing blood! Jorgamo! How are you doing that? Ripping away the hopes and dreams of Sentinel. Second, again, last one left in time. Far too short to make anything of the round. It's a 6 on the board for EG. They are running over them.
Sen fans must be in shambles. They've watched Aspas set records against them, and then Jorg suddenly decided to wake up to put on this performance against them too. Zekken does what he can here, but this play from Jorg. What is that? It's so nice to deny the trade. And that level of constant middle of a team fight impact kills. And he's so locked in.
Where are
There's an early kill that does go to way of Sen.
Opening pick off a rubble fight. EG have not been committing to these. The first time they do, get caught by it a little. And this is where the ult cycle starts to stack way more in favor of Sen. EG have been building those up unreal quick on Jorg. But now Sen have some of their own. They've used Zekkens to get back into the retake, and Zelsis one away.
Bit of a breather for them. Zelsis is in a bit of a one and done.
Yeah, very committed position here. Without utility to play off, but he's got Ten's Paranoia to support.
Still in a dangerous spot. All things considered, sees nade towards the back pillar. Haunt in and through, smoke fading.
Excellent support from Tens. Breaks the Haunt and able to throw the Paranoia. Might have been John actually breaking the Haunt from Waterfall. But either way, Zels is supported in that spot.
One of the first rounds where EG looking a little bit lost in terms of which direction to land in because they don't have a control. Apoth seeking to take the fight and actually ends up taking out Zekken.
Not many people are doing that to Zekken.
There's the confidence though, and that neural theft gives Jorgamo a good indication that Sassy is repositioning up towards heaven. Couple of straight shots though from the vulnerability.
EG
down low.
EG are finding this route towards towards A in the late round so often.
Right, full even committed here from Derek. I mean, that's not going to be getting too many tags, but Sassy going to be using one of his own. Let's give the peace of mind here. Apoth could choose to play in a more forward angle, but it all comes onto a knife's edge of how these fights end up being taken. One bullet left, has to commit the reload. He will be falling, at least should be no way! Apoth, let's get away with bloody murder! And for Sentinels, it's all fallen to pieces.
That's it. That's the round done. Apoth's destroyed second to give them an entry into A, and then to somehow manage to pull out another 2 in that spot.
Last player
You are
standing.
joking.
He's on
Running
for the
down
ace.
these guns, he is.
I mean, he might die to the turret.
He's not careful. Breaking it, hunting it, smelling it out. Okay, Zelsis puts a stop to it, but still won't be able to keep that gun kicking into the next. This is 7 rounds in a row. Economy flourishing, the ideas are good.
Out. We have had some absolute rolls this week. And I was looking at this on paper, Bren.
On paper.
And I'm thinking, again, Madrid winners, one of the favorites for being the top teams in Americas against a team that's currently 0-3. Doesn't look like they have the right amount of firepower. We might be in for a roll again today, Bren. And it's exactly the other direction.
The opposite direction.
What is Valorant?
You can't predict it. You can't predict it. Don't try and make sense of it.
Jorg and Apoth, though, are just... Apoth, especially in that round, just taking turns to dominate their opponents.
Heavy stack, though, with 3 of these players, including the close quarter angles. Near-sighted up, and they are evening out these fights with these pistols.
That's a nice snake bite as well to give them an opportunity to go for a play like that. They should have all of that information. They heard 2 players running away there, Zekken and Sassy. They should know that Tens was over towards C. So EG are now going to have a really good idea of where people are on the map. Opening the door to allow the spike to reconnect on B. Like I said, they know that Zekken and Sassy ran away to fill that gap over on A.
Trouble is as well, they're too worried to even grab these guns. I think Tens is considering it. He wants a rifle. It's been dropped down out towards Sand. He realizes now it's been cleared, takes that risk for them, and he's gonna be able to relink now and apply that pressure by opening this door.
Usually when he opens the door, though, he has a paranoia to work with. Not this time.
This time, just raw aim and firepower. It's gonna persevere for him, but everybody drops, and Topples 1v1 again! Tens! Finalizes the fight and puts that round on the board. Sorely needed for a team like Sentinels. You can feel it.
Thrifty.
The tension in the air. There's no celebrations. There's no cheers from the Sen side. Everybody's locked in.
Honestly, I'm amazed that refight works as well as it does with the lighter weaponry. But you saw as well Zelsis popping off motor mouth at the end of the round.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just going to be trying to give them, the spirit to go for this game, but I think he's probably going to be talking about going for like re-clears around the map or something like that. It's clear that EG have a good understanding of the fact that they can get these late round executes towards A, and they're not getting Apoth punished by going for 2 aggressive lurks. This time, making it feel like it's only Apoth B and looking to try to punish Sassy. Again, Jorg, he's in.
It's all the way in. I mean, Sassy just can't really hold that one back. Not from the position he was in, but no casualties yet. Will be the...
But this time, Brent, all of Sen set to flood defend. This is nowhere near like what it was last time.
Trying to fight their way into this one. I mean, it's a lockdown committed. The defender's side, and they're actually just trying to evacuate out of this one here, but it's going to be pushed forwards and a fight taken by EG right from behind. It's the backstabber, Zelsis. Does claim 2, 1 player detained. There's definite chances here still for Sentinels and a 2 versus 3. Jorg forwards, but running and gunning. Zelsis gives him the old fade away. 2 versus 2 now. Cam, broken. Unaware of where these players are, but eventually the Phantom with a spray down of John QT. And get that dirty work done.
And all that despite the fact that Jorg picked up 3.
Yeah.
His stat line's going to be absurd. Just getting 1 purely based off timing, expecting someone to follow up. Lovely shots, and Sen had it all to do. Zelsis did a phenomenal job. But this time, the macro element from Sen did recognize that. They didn't allow Sassy to get punished at the start of the round defending B, despite what EG were doing there. One from Sentinels. They don't have enough people to go blow for blow with this, but they do have showstoppers on their side. So
Zekken's ult could make the difference here. Same could be said for Jorgamount. See how they end up taking it. Onto the boom bot, a slight reveal. Zekken not fast enough onto the line to be able to get that early kill. Sending it flying with a seized nade.
I like that.
That's nice, a bit delayed, seeking to punish Nature, who's usually playing up.
It doesn't find anything, but Sen have managed to get posted on the other side. And there's Tens with his op. He said he was enjoying playing with it recently. It's been so difficult for Sen to build up the economy to get it into his hands this game.
Yeah.
But there it is. There's the value. That's the smoke we've been talking about as well. It's so cool. Sinks into the ground a little bit so that people can still support you from behind.
Make sure they can take those fights, but no fights necessary, not when Tens gets that opening pick.
Yeah, and Sen are now re-exploring over towards A, confidently re-clearing these areas, something they weren't doing as much in the first, what, 6 or 7 rounds?
Side by side now.
I think that this is still going to
Narrow
come
wall
down to the
face them.
results, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, Jorgamo and Zekken are right there, waiting. Satchels plays, Rocket offloaded! The ult, pinpoint accuracy onto Sassy, but they haven't cleared these players close, and now Zekken. Could be his time to strike. Fight to be taken, but he's paying the rest of his team, and he's really just biding his time and waiting it out. Still alive. A bullets left, up into heaven! Jorgamo! My goodness, how are you getting away with this? And Zekken, forced to unleash it at least, but let loose with the Rocket a little bit too early there. More than he was hoping for, and will try and take the fight. He satchels forwards with a 1v2, doubled up, 3 bullets left. Backs away for the reload, and the plant is not good for these players still. But I think the advantage is here for EG, surely. TP, fake out, there's the trade.
There's so much chaos in that round.
Yeah.
Jorg commits with his ult and doesn't get to clear the left-hand corner. I was expecting Zekken to counter-ult immediately to stop them taking that space, but he doesn't. He tucks, baits the team, as you said. Jorg just didn't clear it at all. But then the rest of Sen didn't think about Jorg continuing to push. They know that Jorg is on site somewhere, and yet these Sen players rotating, Celsius and Tens, just assume he's going to be sat on site somewhere. No, he's a maniac. He's got 20 kills. He's going to be pushing you.
He's fighting that tempo with tempo. Takes a lot to catch Sentinels off guard. Some of these players, this kind of pace. And Ten still with this operator though. He's got that B angle locked. Fully down with the crosshair. Cam though and Cage will push him away.
And Tens is just assuming that Apoth didn't see him there, because the cam looked in the opposite direction first. Uses the shorty to break the cam. And Sen, yeah, minute and 5, commit the pit over towards C.
It's a good time for it.
I mean, they've got such great control around the map here. They've got 2 players in a pit on C, 2 players set up in a bait and switch setup on an A. B is really the only weakness, and Tens is going to be looking to grab one and then fall off, and they can flood retake. So defensive setups looking nice here for Sen.
Prowler, Nade, all combined in conjunction with one another, seeking see if they can clear out this pit. John QT not going to be removed from it. Still holding his ground, but Celsius will go down. So that slight pocket, Jorgamo, the awareness off the bloody charts. Tens, pot shot taken. It's a freebie onto Nature, but they've got that pan down into the post. Nade. The C is also missing, trying to take this in a rapid fashion. Sentinels not really slowing down that pace at all. Trying to take it with a tempo, but a slight pause is all it takes to overstay and overstep themselves. For EG trying to take this one. Derek, last one left, 1v2. Sassy, safety in numbers, at least onto the defuse, and he's sticking it all the way with a smoke in his face. Gets off it, but he's brought himself that win con. Haunt, not going to trigger in time. It's a full defusal.
Both of those players are so cool in the clutch there, Sassy and Derek, playing with each other's expectations. I thought Sen had made the misstep when Celsius rotated away from the pit. And Jorg, again, with such excellent awareness of what's going on. Huge amounts of spam into the pit, pushes John into a tiny corner, and Jorg's like, yeah, I know exactly where you are. Jorgamo has twice as many kills as the next highest player, and Apoth is still having a really good game. This is monstrous. This is
ridiculous.
This is actually, I hesitate to say it, but it feels like more impact than Aspas was having against them when he set a record.
Don't start.
Like 23 kills in
Records
12
being
rounds.
broken again. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
The KPR's off the charts.
It's insanity. But one final round here to convert. Sen are going to be fighting with everything to see if they can get it on their side of things. 8-4, recoverable, arguably.
Yeah.
Prowler through Apoth. Might be taking some bullets through the box if he's not careful. Hello,
Spike down,
EG.
attacker spawn.
They're the ones who are going to be fighting right back into them. 2 players dropping now from Sentinels. On the defense side, map this big, going to be lacking now. A lot of that information. Bit of a scramble, wondering where EG could land.
In that fight, it's another situation where Apoth's duel is the one that matters. Zekken gets traded out, and there's a player there, you know, Tens versus Apoth. Apoth wins again. Today is just so good for Apoth and Jorg.
Time, John. He's just way out there, man. Way out there. But yeah, Apoth
30 seconds
fully
left.
deals with him. Another ult, by the way, for Jorgamo. I believe that's what, the fourth one?
The fourth
Fourth one in the half, using it to just clear out the site. So peace of mind granted for EG with a plant on top of it. And what a post-plant it is to be just playing into this spot. Nightfall. Not going to be getting too many trails and connections from that one. Jorgamo though needs to rely on the rest of his team. The sensors are cut away. It's all going to be reaction times and his sights dropping down. He can't actually tell how these players are really assailing his position, but they do eventually remove him. 2 stand against the 3 of EG, still into it with the smoke dropped across. They do cut out that triangle. 7 minutes left. Reload. Forwards not covering. It's all mistimed for EG. Secures them that 9.
God, they both walked into the smoke while reloading.
Switching sides.
Brutal situation. But it sees EG continue this dominant half that they've had. 9-3, sure, the attack side of Lotus, but the manner in which it was done. Jorgamo with 23. Apoth with 1 kill per round over. It's just been astoundingly good from EG.
Yeah, on an individual basis. I mean, it's led them to this 9-3 half against Sentinels. Madrid end to set this up quite nicely. It is the attack side of Lotus that Sentinels are going to be playing on. It's going to be the favored side for this map, but it has to start with a pistol around here. And when Jorgamo's putting up numbers that looks like you've snuck a Radiant into an Iron Lobby, I mean, it's difficult. If he keeps this up, this prowess, this firepower, I mean, one hell of a task for Sentinels.
It does seem almost silly to say it's got to start with the pistol, but actually, the attack side of Lotus is so momentum-based with the ults that I think you literally need the pistol to even begin the process of that snowball. It's not like you can drop the pistol and then come back from 11-3. It's way, way tougher. They've broken the trip, looking to try to pressure C, and EG are not home.
Not home at all. No one hard anchoring, of course, so it'll be that retake.
Yeah, they have Paranoia and Seize Nade. And the Seize Nade's ready to go.
Hello, there it is, Snakebite and a nade. That actually does all the work. On top of that, I believe it's a Seize as well.
Yeah.
It's going to collapse the spike out into the open. Fight needs to be taken out. Forward, Jorgamo again. Leading the charge for his team. The nade rebounds with Sentinels. This time, pistols. Reigning supreme for them. And so the first difficulty overcome.
And it did look difficult. Because even though EG weren't there, that Seize Nade was wonderful.
Yeah.
Predicting the new meta plant spot on the stairs. And yet Sen able to group up and deal with that. Kind of put the onus on EG to push through these difficult crossfires. And Sen have stepped up. Man, I really do wish we had the coach interviews at the half sometimes too. Because Kaplan went in, you know, if you remember, when they had another really one-sided Lotus game previously, it was like, we just didn't, we were, what did he say? We were asleep for one of the halves or something?
Sleep, a disappointment.
Yeah, he was very, very stern about them. And in terms of their mentality, we have seen Sen bring things back from this kind of point before.
Got that experience, EG. Get ahead of themselves, at least Jorgamo was.
Yeah,
His
Jorg
team
wants to
follow up.
force it. When you have a hot hand like that, you want to feed it, but you also don't want to feed. And so on defense especially, it can tempt you into taking fights that are not set up very well.
So they're all going to be toppling here. They just don't quite have the guns for the job. As I say that. Okay, jumping, right click, doing work.
It's actually, I think it's better for Sen if Zekken ends up getting this kill anyway.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to happen.
We saw how important those showstoppers were just to get that momentum going for EG on their own attack side. And if you've watched Lotus at all, you know it just to be the case in general. It's a very snowbally map off the back of the ultimate. So Zekken now 2 away.
And this is where, when the sides were flipped around, we saw EG go for a set play towards B. They didn't play for ult orbs and try to make sure they had a showstopper online, because that just takes too long. It's a bit too difficult. Instead, they went for a set execute.
Nice, boys. Get this Spectre. Good job, boys. Good job.
So they're making sure their economy's in a good spot. What does SEN have to show us? Are they going to pull one out of the strat book?
The vibes overall pretty good as well, just from the sneak peek at a commerce from Zelsis.
The thing is, they have to be. Like, SEN have been in these kind of difficult positions before. They know they can win.
Oh, Zekin just being sent flying straight into the fray, but you're right, they have been in these spots before. They know they can win. Trip.
I think that should make it obvious as well. There's people ready to spam the normal plant spot.
Tap, yeah. So they're trying to bait it out. It's actually a C's nade close instead. Tucking around the corner, you can avoid most of the damage that's coming your way. Sassy now going for the plant and going to be committing this one still. He will fall. Just for the wall. It's a wall bang angle.
That's a bit of it's a ridiculous one too, because Sassy was not planting in the normal spot. He was trying to plant as safe as he could. Still got punished.
Still rotating. Zapov seeking to apply that pressure now. While the rest of his team goes for this retake, but a lot of angles to clear, a lot of fights to take and win out, Sentinels. But a bonus round right now, it's a good beginning.
Jorg popped ult.
Rocket committed. Sentinels though on top.
Jorg popped ult in the middle of that to try to make sure they could win the anti-bonus. That's 1-0, 1 back. Take a look at this in the replay. What is that?
Okay, I mean...
What is that?
Okay.
That's ludicrous. But Tens is the difference maker here. With Shorty in hand and then getting value out of the Spectre, playing inside his own smoke. But yeah, we didn't catch it in the replay either. But there's no showstopper available here for EG. This is going to start a big ult snowball to get SEN back into the game.
It's massive. They've already got the lockdown available to them now. Again, still 2 away.
You can't give this team openings.
You can't.
Nobody's going to remember, oh yeah, EG had an amazing attack half if they end up losing the map anyway.
Sentinels still firmly believing that they can win this one. Everybody making their way out through tree. Sliding in through the back of the side here. Looks like EG are looking to try and take a fight out towards Rubble. Satchel's movement. Jojo just getting caught all over the place, and Sentinel so fast to receive it.
Very good play by the rest of SEN, adapting to what EG were doing.
That's rapid.
What a great round, honestly. That's an eco for EG, where they've got the idea. They know exactly where Zelsis is going to position himself in that post plant. They know that there's always one player towards Rubble for SEN, and they throw a snakebite C's nade, but Jorg kind of bails out of the movement halfway through. You might see this in the replay. But yeah, the whole of SEN then responds to that by opening the door. I love the game plan from both teams.
Nice, boys. Let's go. Hey, my squad's with me, boys. Let's go.
Oh, the vibes merchant, he is dishing it out.
Yeah, and it's all smiles on the face of Sentinels right now, because yes, they're down 2 rounds, but it's only 2 rounds. They was that showstopper that he committed in round 15. EG are going to have to dig so deep. They've got to find the win from somewhere. Maybe that comes by forcing fights before SEN can get in position to use ult. They're going to fight for mound control at the beginning, while SEN path towards B.
Door opens up.
As soon as the door opens, though, you now know exactly what EG are playing for. You know that there's 2, maybe 3 players in mound. So SEN are going to try to clear that out.
I do have protocols in mind. Look at this, already holding for that util. But the space is going to be, oh, at least it looked like it was going to be given up. No, it's a deep smoke that's dropped down. Prowler onto the left. Zekin out of the right still. At least with the snake bite, that will collect the kill at the end.
Yeah, honestly, you'll take that. I mean, Zekin should be favored to clean up Superman anyway, but you've opened up a path now for Zelsis to use his lockdown.
Jorgen was going to go for it.
Well, Jorg has nade too that he could use to deny lockdown if it's committed towards C. And to be honest, Zelsis is not even getting close. They don't like the look of this.
No, they don't. Maybe a bit of a false read of things, though, but we'll see what direction Sentinels end up going into. A side still being locked down. There's a massive gap towards the middle of the map here, which is B. It feels like the right read is now online here for Sentinels.
Yeah, the common positions for lockdown are in this corner or in this corner. And you might well see Zelsis just commit it. It's much more difficult to have Jorg break it in that spot. Zelsis could also save it for post-plant, but once they hit the trip, I think this is going to be obvious.
There it is. Sees. Locked down close here from Derek, but nades are going to be rebounding into them anyway. Locked forwards now. Sassy feeling like he has to commit that one with the Nightfall. He's getting a couple of tags, so he gets that acknowledgement and the information plant into the post.
And all of these players, with the audio denied, are not going to anticipate TenZ sneaking around behind them.
Fast flank all the way through here, but the fight might just be one onto the side anyway. Crossfires all the way. TenZ from the back. Hitting hard at EG here with only 2 left to stand. Pick up those pieces. Has to be a save surely at this point.
And the crowd realize it. The Gia's coming through. EG have not won a round since the side swapped. Oh, the alarm bot's just giving away where they're playing.
Do fend off the first one, though, looking to take away those weapons. TenZ, of course, are going to try and go for it. Never shut down. They keep these guns. It is necessary.
So that's going to provide a bit of a buffer there for EG to work with. But it's still difficult for them. That's 5 rounds in a row. And now SEN still have Showstopper to work with. Second died early, didn't get a chance to use his ult, but now he has it for the next.
Feeling crispy, you know what I mean?
Joe, take my gun.
You hit out at the end. Jaw, take my gun.
Yeah.
Empowering the player that's at the top of the scoreboard.
But 500 and whatever it was ACS in the first half. I mean, maybe remove a decimal point or something for this half. They haven't found the opportunities for Jorg or Apoth to have that level of value.
Yeah, and it's much more difficult when you're on the defensive side. You're reacting a lot more to what the attack side's ended up doing. Can't play as fluidly. Sentinel's getting a bit of a read here that the A rubble fight, not even necessary. They can just contact all the way up and it's going to be easy ground game.
Fire in the hole!
Out of rocket. Oh no, a bit of a misstep! Superman, he's missing the rope there and still gets away with it.
Yeah, whistled past Superman's ear.
Dominating this heaven smoke though, will actually fade now with the nade. Rebounding back and away, sees forwards, a fight to be taken by EG up close with the Stingers. Anybody could have been favored. Second who wins it out, still holding down that ground. EG looking to try and flip their way through this one, but again, the back positions here, it's this bait and switch setup that Sentinels, they're just so willing to just, okay, we'll give you a bit of that space. Now we're playing a crossfire setup and the doors are rotating, too many angles to really watch for. Has to be raw firepower that sails them through it. But is it even possible for them? Apoth is making a bloody good go of it. It's just one player, what can you do against that? 9-9, Sentinels have brought this all the way back.
These rounds have been such blowouts, and SEN have managed this avalanche so well that EG, they haven't even had their first ults online for the half. Jorg, we talked about in round 15 using his. The other players are only just now getting, you know, Nightfall, Viper's Pit online. They're still one away.
Yeah.
Derek and Nature still don't have access to these huge tide-shifting ults to be able to play with. And here we go, into the round instantly. SEN looking to whack up the tempo.
Yeah. Quickening of the round right at the beginning here. See a lot of util being expended just to try and shake the position and put these attacking players out. Sentinels, though, we push back and away from it, so they're still going to get that plant down in through B, up through heaven, and even the pit just lay it out on top. How do you deal with this if you're EG? It's got to be perfect. 2 players out through Hobbit, Prowler, connection there, onto Zek, and a few bullets stray. Just going into him to deal a little bit of damage, but Jorgmo dealt with. It's your spearhead gone and out. Derek spraying and praying all about, and Nature, no chance for it.
Bren, the only hope here for EG to right the ship is that SEN used ults now and have finally hit close to the end of their bank. But otherwise, SEN are wiping them away every single round. There's a game-turning advantage in their favor.
Yeah.
This time it's John's Pit that just makes the retake so much more difficult. And they don't anticipate the pace of the B exec. But the problem is the ult economy works in tandem with the financial economy. And EG are currently experiencing a 2008 housing crisis.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good.
They're stuck.
It's not looking good.
They have ults to work with, but now they don't want to invest them necessarily unless they start to get advantages, because you know, Sen have got such better weaponry, and if Zekken can use that gun advantage to build up to a showstopper, this is how Lotus attack side snowballs away from you.
It gets out of hand. Maybe beginnings of potentially a round on the board here for EG on this defensive half with the Viper's pit down.
Yeah, and
Should push Sen naturally over towards B, A.
Yeah, I think EG have been very good at coming up with ideas on their ecos of putting pressure. Normally, they're allowing Sen into A and then trying to squeeze them rubble on the retake. We've seen that twice now on EG's ecos. Similar pattern, perhaps?
Cool, calm, and collected. Sentinels unwilling to really rush into much at all here. Knifefall is even being committed. That's Derek. Using it here. Doesn't get any tags at all. Might be giving a bit of false information, but now time to strike here for Sen. They're going to be using one of their own. Ults committed.
There's only 25 seconds.
Which way are they going into here? Pivot into B. Doubled up close. Corners into the action, and it doesn't matter. Taking rifles against the Stingers or whatever weaponry that EG might have. They just barrel over them.
EG, we're not ready for that. And they've just used...
10 seconds left.
Brent, they've just used all their ultimates.
I mean, it's everything, right?
On an eco round. And it's looking Jova. Zekken one away from his showstopper. They now have access to that to be able to work with in the next. Like, Sen are so good at being able to understand the wider picture. I'm not even talking the macro of like where people are positioned, but the idea that you can snowball games in this kind of way. 9-3 down, they've just looked like it doesn't matter. They could win every single round in this half.
They've never had any of that hesitation at the back of their minds. Like, you can just tell. I mean, you look at the replays, the reactions as soon as the round ends from the Sen players. I mean, the body language says it all.
Yeah.
Locked in, ready to win. They know what it takes. It's one round at a time, one step at a time. So far, they've done it. Two-round differential now between these two teams when they were down 6 against EG.
And here, Sen had 25 seconds to hit the A site. Paranoia had denied them from taking tree control, and 2 players with close range weapons were in Hobbit, and they weren't able to get a kill out of that. Apoth and Derek just folded.
Yeah.
You hope for more when you're in that spot. That's what your eco round is designed to funnel the players with better guns through tiny choke points where you have the advantage, and they just couldn't capitalize. How many did Jorg have at the half? 23?
Something like that. In the 20s, and since then it's just been a slip essentially from the initial few rounds.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, he's not playing with the blindfold on. He just can't find opportunities to make the impact, and he's always up against an advantage for Sen. Here comes Zekken's showstopper.
Oh, we'll put that one back online with the auto orb. Zekken now probably going to be using this one to clear out through the side. And yeah, here it is. Offloaded. Let it rip. One target. One kill. It's a matter about a high ground position here. Jorg wants to go fast and rapid into his approach. Right into the back section. Strops into pit. I mean, Sassy just deals with him. Superman, what is going on there? Intruder in the midst. It's up to 12 now for Sentinels, and one more round will do it. A resounding comeback.
And honestly, EG are going to be kicking themselves because this could have been such a different game if literally just the round 13 had gone the other way.
The pistol round.
Yeah.
Right?
And EG,
See it on their faces.
Yeah, Potter can tell as well. All of that hype and adrenaline at the fact that you're beating the Madrid winners. The crash afterwards can be worse than the high.
They will be coming. One more round stands between Sentinels claiming their map pick.
My ult's ready.
Jorgamo finally ult online.
I think this is the first time we've seen somewhat similar rifles and an ult advantage for EG.
But here it is. Second must just lead the charge forwards. Apoth, the stalwart protector of the site, and the vulnerability matters not for John QT. Still towards it. Tens with a trade rocket. Just catch him around the corner. Not too sure how that ends up happening, but the kills are flooding in this time in EG's direction. This is right in the nick of time. Sassy, though, might be trying to play spoiler 1v3, make it 1v2.
If a single bullet had hit Superman, this would have been a 1v1.
45 seconds left.
He's got so much time.
We know how smart Sassy can be in these particular spots.
Honestly, your instincts here are screaming go back to C. Because that's where all of the action was earlier. You know all three of them left C to pass
30
through
seconds
B.
left.
You know, in their heads, they'll be thinking, continue that momentum, head in the A direction. Sassy's going to get a free plant here. I think he's played it beautifully.
He has. Free plan with Superman on 5 HP. It just could be the death blow.
They are so far away. Sassy, whether he knows it or not, has got a good chance here of repositioning to catch one.
They have to walk because they don't know where Sassy's positioning is. And it all comes down to this. A fight to be taken. First one found. Where's the next? Derek shuts it down.
Good trade from Derek. Very safe play from EG. Bunching up together. Yeah, they gave Sassy a lot of room. But when it came down to it,
Team Ace.
the Brazilian just could not quite pick apart EG's players. So 12 to 10. Like I said at the beginning of round 22, I think that was the first time we've seen somewhat comparable rifles and an ult advantage for EG. Now there's no ults anywhere.
Nice
That
edge.
movement, man. Yep.
What we need right there.
Yep.
Nice edge. But EG still in it.
3 Guardians, though, for EG. They are going to have to hit such clean shots.
Positioning of Superman. High ground off angle. Because you have to be worried about smokes flying. Satchels forwards. Nothing to break the haunt as well. So Superman marked up. We'll have to at least respect that one with the haunt. Well, on the opposite side of things, that was 3 tags onto the players of Sentinels. So they know that there's a heavy committal over towards A Rubble.
And in rounds like this, the IGLing does get a little more complicated for the attack side, at least, because Kaplan previously has just been able to call around, messing with the pace and playing around the ults that he had to work with. So now he's got to really figure out what this defensive setup looks like, see if he can crack it. Ideally for Sentinels, they want the game to end right here. The more that EG win, the better their rifling is going to get. Look at that trip, designed to try to catch second if he double blast packs in. He loves pathing on top of the box.
No more satchels left. And they make the play towards it. Instead of just running about, it's a marathon sprint across the map.
Yeah, Zelsis, I don't think has heard rotations going to C, but they've got the right macro idea here.
A deep haunt into C mound, that does send EG
30
scattering.
seconds left.
Players now realizing that it's most likely leaning over towards A. Wants to play, pivot into B, have B main control. Zelsis has been holding on to this one now, so it should be that free plan. I don't think
There are 3
EG
players
have
in
anything
heaven.
to stop it. They could attempt to flood this one out. Sees nade, pushes them back. Sassy around the corner.
10
He's got the
seconds
spike.
left.
He's
10
the one with the plant, and it needs to go online now. Defending the angles on the crossfire section. Sentinels, they do eventually defend him and get themselves into this spot. And it comes down now to the kills. Jorgo. First one found. Ape with the door. Opens wide. Smoke in their faces. How do you take the fight? All through heaven. Which direction? TB's back into main and he just crossed it up entirely. Tens, 3v3. And the kills for the smokes in their face. Sticking for Derek, but it's over like that. Blink of an eye. Sentinels take it away. Map number 1.
Attack-sided map in the pool, like Lotus is. But John's way of being able to control the game mid-round, utilize that ult to try to build up avalanches. All of those things EG is still going to have to try to deal with. And they're already looking to get proactive in showers, stealing that ult orb very early on, whilst threatening some kind of push out through sand. Now this...
A deep Viper roll.
Yeah, this smoke that we've got here is it's an unusual one. You do not often see it. But they're just trying to condition it, looking to go for some kind of sand crunch in the mid-round if Sentinels were re-clearing that area of the map.
All up through B long. Fully contacted the Dizzy. Be sure to watch those angles, so nobody holding close here. Superman does have 2 snake bites to his name. The Trailblazer.
Scout just
Seeing the 1. Nade. Flash. Ooh, a little bit of whiffage there, but doesn't quite get any connections. And the TP evacuation from Tens.
Yeah, this is actually going to start pulling a bit of a rotation over towards A for the defenders. But there's still opportunities to go back up to B. SEN are keeping this pretty loose and flexible in round 1.
They're going to be running themselves back over towards B. So they've definitely pulled these rotations over.
Yeah, there's 4 players
30
stacked
seconds
over on
left.
But because EG have short control, they can access the teleporter to come and help Superman very quickly. And Celsius doesn't really have a smoke he can use for Hookah. You can see he's put one elbow, one over towards spawn. So Hookah's going to be a weak spot here for Sen.
That weak spot that they're just forgetting about ignoring for now.
And look at
they're
this.
taking elbow backside control.
Yeah, Derek actually goes through the TP, and this is going to make people focus on Hookah at the same time as Superman is wrapped out of Hookah and coming up long. I like the timing on this.
And multiple plays occurring here, but it comes down to this gunfight, so they're going to be occurring right here, right now. Shots missing ever so slightly. John QT just can't quite win his fight out, but luckily for him, his team has definitely been winning theirs. Right through spawn, last one left is Derek, dropped to the floor, so a flawless round here for the pistol beginning of Sentinels. And it is that macro masterclass, absolute cinema, however you want to call it for John QT. I mean, he just worked them across the map.
Yeah, it was a great usage there. Have a default, then go and take some B long control, teleport back, end up hitting B. And yet, while the loss of Hookah control could have been a problem for them, Sen were very quick to realize that and push forward to fight elbow and go and look to put pressure on people retaking from spawn. I think the duel that we were looking at between Superman and John Cutie could have decided the round, but in actual fact, it just took so long to resolve. It ended up being a non-factor. Sassy could end up getting caught here by double flash, but now he's just going to tell his team, yeah, there's no one on B. Everybody is running me down.
Yeah, I mean, he stood his ground for a moment here. Just bunny hopping around the corner, so we'll be back to safety.
John's actually used the opportunity to slink into A as well. I'm not sure they know that Superman's still elbow. It's a weird round, but I don't think EG are going to get anything out of it. Perhaps just this one bulldog, if they can hunt down Sassy.
Oh, Senna rapidly approaching, reinforcements arriving, not even necessary for Sassy. And Superman acknowledged and taken out. A one for the flawless against that eco round. Sentinels. Good beginnings here to bind.
10's one away from ult. Sassy 2 away. 10's probably going to be able to build his up just by getting plants down.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to play around these, but it's certainly an option.
Here's the danger.
Yeah. So, when we were watching Sen obliterate, I think it was MIBR on this map, they were just sending B execs over and over. All right, tech pop.
You got him creased over there in the corner. He's loving it. Right, let's get started. Here we go. Fire up EG. Keep the energy going. And yeah, this is a good chance now for them to try and shut down some of the stuff that Sentinels are doing. This is such a bold play. They are just walking all the way through the orb. Not worried about anybody playing up close here. Flash through around the corner. 4 of them standing their grounds now with 10's earning that ult.
Oh yeah!
Stimmy drop down.
That's a fast fish.
It's a very fast fish, and he's going to be taking a nasty chunk out of the elbow player, detained, but it doesn't really seem like there's too much of a follow-up. Superman's still going to be holding down the ground. It is Hookah, but he is going to be spotted out. Bullets going wide and around. Nice one, snappy. Off onto the craniums. He's locking this one down for his team. That one avenue that just wasn't accounted for, and it's made that so much more difficult here for Sentinels to really get themselves through. Get that plan going, running and gunning, but it's all covered with the rifles. Surely should be John QT 1v2.
The spike's down. There's no real need for EG to be fighting this.
They double up in a high-low.
Yeah. All of the pressure here is on John to make something happen.
There it is.
EG's strategy against the Sen B exec is just to dominate Hookah.
Yeah.
They're taking short control, Hookah control, so that they can access the teleport, come in. They can sand crunch off Superman's contact if needed. Otherwise, they can just fight this. And this is where the adaptation needs to come from Sen. Either you throw another Brim Smoke on Hookah and you don't worry about it and you go and fight for like elbow control or something like that afterwards. Or you've got to try late backstabbing, but that runs into the problem of the players with short control are going to crunch you. Or you can try to re-clear Hookah pretty aggressively. Or split with a lot of players.
Have a big emphasis over towards B long. This time not disrespecting the Viper Orb though. Wait for it to go down. Nature. Just jiggling. We get information here. Does he know how close these SEN players are, though? Because they are contacted up. Sassy, but loose with the Seekers now, and that will hopefully clear a path for them. But the Snake Bite's definitely doing some decent work. It's going to be stunting this push. Many attempts here to stun. There was that connection. Bullets flying, smokes fading, barely alive, but Nature backs away. Surprised they weren't able to get that kill onto Zekken.
I don't think Zekken realized he'd been seen in that position.
Themselves control over towards Tube here. Stuns are trying to set this one up. Flooding through John QT. He slaps them down. A pesky problem in the backside, but no longer. Chanting. Spam through the smoke. There's one kill onto 10, but with the damage done to Nature, they don't want any part of this.
Giving up very early on there in the 2v3 retake. There's quite a bit of damage done to Zekken and John as well, but EG playing things very safe. This time, EG did not go for that dominating hookah approach. They had a much more standard setup. I don't really think they anticipated how deep SEN had gotten across B long, as you're pointing out, Brent. They had one on top of two, one under, and then they were forced to kind of backpedal a little bit. Got caught ever so slightly. Zekken did a great job here of getting out. Sassy's getting tagged by bullets there. But the fact that Zekken's out kind of allows the rest of his team to eventually still cross through. And the play by John seals the round. That's absurd shooting by John. This buy is an unusual one.
Yeah, it's pretty dire. I mean, they keep the two rifles that they save, but no one else really able to buy up around it.
Yeah, and Derek's got 0 credits to his name.
This was a strange one. Keep an eye on these players with the rifles. Tap, George.
Apoth is also using smokes really early on in the round. He's used one already outside showers, and that's a kind of default one he's putting, but then he's generally been throwing one over towards B.
Walked all the way up again. I mean, SEN are contacting through all of these options. Into the sights, over the top. Derek will at least put a stop to Zekken. Mosh Pit can't quite scale through into that angle just for now. Molly, good connection, at least with the bullets there. SEN doubling up, ensuring that there's no gaps whatsoever in their play. And EG again forced to make that tough decision and back away. Superman, he's got no weapon. Might as well make a go of things at least to do some economical damage. But yeah, it's another round that's just over for EG.
And the fact that Apoth is putting that smoke over towards showers, he didn't really feel like investing another one short that early on. Just got caught on that sideline. Everybody from SEN was able to walk up behind the Viper.
They've been doing that a lot. A lot of contact plays early from Sentinels up through either B long and now short.
Yeah, they're really disrespecting EG.
Yeah.
The fact that they've just walked through the Viper orb on B long a couple times, that should be starting to send alarm bells through EG. Because if you can't force your opponents to respect something like that, it's not worth the credits you've used to buy it.
Yeah.
So again, take a look at the replay. The fact they're all the way through here, no Brim Smoke, which would be more standard, no Viper Orb on short, which, again, some teams are running. So SEN are just able to guns out contact the whole way through.
Money situation, look at that, Derek. Forced down to the half armor with the Sheriff. Can't buy up a rifle with the rest of his team.
Superman's gonna Viper Orb over towards B long again. And there's that same Brim Smoke showers.
Jordo, top truck. Damage done. Dealing it out and dishing it out. EG, they've got that crossfire for them. Hello. Trying to really let loose with the rocket.
Flawless.
Everybody collapsed in the blink of an eye.
SEN decided to send it that round.
Okay.
Something over there.
But that's what you're going to do if you're EG.
Like us, but
You're going to contact through, not use util to try and take some of that space.
on
Yeah,
my
but they
way.
weren't even contacting there. They just they just jumped in through short. That's a really bizarre round from SEN. Because again, they're forcing out 2 Brim Smokes in the first 10 seconds of the round. Apoth's using 1 showers and used 1 short there, and there was no call to cancel. They just decided, I think it's based off the dog from Sassy seeing a couple players showers. They thought there was free space through short. Yeah, just
sending it again.
Trying to end this game as quick as possible.
Yep, run it up again. Trailblazer does not get broken, so all that ground gained once more. It's going to be laps for them. Snake bite into the smoke. Nobody can play through that one, but they do deny the plant. EG.
Launching smoke.
That showers control, but they've lost back sight in the process. Celsius. Got this one wrapped around. It's a double flash play with a molly rebounding and flying through, spraying through with the bullets.
That's excellent. Off the dizzy info.
They know that they've lost showers control, but it matters not for Sentinels. They've got this discipline to really just instill and hone it in the middle of the round in these precise moments.
Unfortunately, though, Brent, the longer they take, the more Superman might be able to get something done. They're all going to teleport, and Superman's here.
Second goes down. Superman is finding another one, and now he's playing for his life as well. So they do have to try and at least take care of him. Nature almost getting another one. These 3 kills dished across the map. Sentinels slapdash in their approach, really, as well as they were trying to get onto that B side. But finally, the plant is down for them, but with a player disadvantage.
They know Superman is in market, but can Sassy find the timing on it?
No way. I mean, Ten's just playing this one. Oh, that's a double detainment! But the player Nature holds that one down. The bodyguard, the VIP, in the correct, precise moment still. Sentinels might have earned themselves a lifeline. Now doubled up, grouped up, got to win out these duels, and damage is done to both of these. A single bullet of Zelsis or Sassy. They will be falling to it. Jogmo sticking, not quite, doesn't even get half. Got to try and get a move on and a go of this one, at least playing towards those win cards! Sassy! On 1 HP! You kidding?
How has he done that? I mean, the EG players must have just lined up, thinking that they were going to be able to land a bullet on either.
There's no way. With how low those players were.
Hopefully we get a replay from Sassy's POV here.
Lined up. 1 health.
No.
1 health.
Tyson, don't spam there.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, didn't catch what he was saying at the end there, but that is absurd stuff. A round that they really had no right winning for Sentinels.
No. I think it was the mid-rounding, actually, something that was praised so much by Kaplan and Potter, John QD's mid-rounding. That's the thing that ended up going a bit wrong for them in that round, but Sen still persevere.
John's going to get early eyes onto this one.
Poison's off.
Is he going to pass the perception check? Oh, Derek's ahead of it. Derek's ahead of it, but he's brought down. 3 players with rifles. Win that one through with a stimmy as well. I mean, John QT is dodging and ducking and weaving.
It's a confusing one there. EG have such great info over towards B long and have walked out short. They kind of asking to be punished. There wasn't really any info about where Sen were playing. The Sen are keeping things slow. 5v3, no reason to do too much. Zekan's opened up the whole of the B site and they can just teleport through. Great mid-round call there.
As soon as they realize their site's opened up. So again, decision being made for EG
30
here.
seconds left.
Has to be a save again.
The slower that Sen play these rounds, I think the better it's going to be for them. Because EG have got, they're using so much utility at the beginning.
Yeah.
And yet Sen have kind of been just going for real fast hits a lot of the time at the beginning of these
Yeah,
rounds.
it feels like they're limit testing almost, just
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
seeing what they can get away with the comp.
But this setup, you know, walking out short, you haven't heard anything hookah, you haven't heard anything showers. You're just taking a gamble based on it being quiet around the map. And there's only 3 lanes they can be, hookah, showers, or short. So walking out there has got a ton of risk associated with it for Derek and Apoth. But hey, if Sen were planning to do a 5-person hookah pop, which is something that some teams do against that Viper ultimate, then that would have been an amazing flank timing. It's a gamble, EG went for it, and they get punished for it.
Surrounded by minha família. We
Now
won't
their
lose.
economy's not good, forced to take attack timeout, and Sen have...
I mean, what was it? The nervous
nervous
dog always
dog
bugs first.
Yep.
What is that? Sun Tzu? Not sure, but yeah, they honestly re-clearing B long could be very, very potent with their comp. EG though, heavy stack. They do have weaker guns. There's that satchel across Jorg. He's cut up the line and the angles. Orbital strike, enough damage done. Derek took 145 in a moment, so he'll go down just the tail end of it. Jorg though, he's getting disrespectful. Let's try and make a play. Beautiful flash. That's right through the TP. That was from the long B long angle.
Yeah, that's excellent to set him up. And Apoth actually drew the boombot as well at the perfect time. Sen, though, very intelligently have just gone and taken the whole of the A site in the meantime.
All of that space. You don't anticipate Zelsis here, I don't think.
There's going to be a lot of timing issues right now.
Got their eyes on those guns, though. EG looking to get a bit of a firepower upgrade. Snakebite sent flying for John QT.
To my world.
Not that anybody was playing there. They're just looking to see if they can get this plant down, maybe.
Yeah, for backside.
Yeah, pit into the back.
A Seeker is going to start drifting in from the spawn side.
Their post-spawn position isn't great for Sen, I will say.
But as soon as Zelsis realizes there's nobody here and can play up towards heaven, oh, it doesn't go for it. If Zelsis takes a risk, he can win the round.
Tiniest of differences, really, that can make the difference. He's missed it. There's a gap, there's a gap, there's a gap. A tiniest of one, but still with the rifles. He's locking it down. Stalwart defender and protector of that little area. And it's a critical difference, a crucial difference. A tap onto diffuse nature. He drops. Apov, last left, but he will fall. So Sen, tricky stuff, but they navigate themselves through that situation.
Really lovely call. It's John and Zelsis, I think, that do the majority of that. Taking short control at the same time as realizing that their opponents are fighting for showers. So while all this is going on, and Jorgamo has a really nice play here, set up by nature, the whole of Sen have just taken the A side. And then the pit, the plant for backside, it's all really nicely navigated.
Toxins going up.
Early skirmish. Bit of lead being exchanged down A short. No kills or casualties.
But the fact that EG control short is going to allow them to go and crunch sand and put pressure on Zelsis in this spot. So when Superman takes contact in hookah here, there's a really solid chance that he ends up getting either naded or just popped on. There's now 3 players that Superman might be able to call that play on.
It's very spread.
And usually
Don't get
Sen
avoided there.
Toxins going up.
usually Sen are going to take hookah control with the Dizzy.
Did they know Sassy's this push?
I don't think so.
I'm just wondering. I mean, I think they dogged through the TP to clear it. Did he timing it? I mean, Derek's got a bit of an awareness. Well, he's put a util out into his hands. Needs the gun now. Mosh pit. Yeah, did not know he was going to be that close. Rocking over the top. Jorgamo close. Quarters action, but he's brought down over the strike. Seeking to punish and punish. Apov will. Drops it down once more. Near sighted though and backs away, pushed away. And it's gunfights that win the day. Sentinels on top of the world right now. It feels like nothing can trip this team up.
It's that disguised push from Sassy. The fact, it feels like everybody is going down short there, and Sassy's got such a deep timing towards showers. Comes around, and even though EG trying to stuff them in short, he's left a lot for nature to do.
Players, it's a team or South Flash. Out towards triple Sassy. Takes the timing and takes nature's life. So,
What a great
8-2.
round.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Sassy.
That's 2 rounds in a row that are not pulled out of the playbook. They're based on the positioning of players and what they can get away with, and just reading the state of the game in the moment.
So curious as well about that Trailblazer that just got him into that spot. We're not going to see it on the replay, but that's like, that's one for the VOD watch later, probably. He's on fire right now, though. 14-3.
He's cooking. His Sky has become, especially on Bind actually, so much better than it was when it was a weakness for him last year.
He's looking real particularly strong. Standard util there, that's a cross map with a snakebite. Ensures that Sen can take a lot of control of B-Long here. Difference is they are having to use util to try and gain that space. Ult orb given up. Trailblazer broken. Boombot. A lot being used here by Sentinels.
And they're going for the late backstab to try to deal with hookah control. John is there, it's a 4-1.
This time Nature will have to give some of this up.
Actually, John is not going for the late backstab. Teleport from Jorgamo, and he decides to just connect with the rest of his team on site. So this is a weird one now.
Wait, what's going on? I mean, Jorg's acting like they're not already up onto the site. They've had a bit of miscommunication. He thinks they're all still there, but a flash surely indicates in second. Takes a peek from it. They're all over the place, man. They are practically in the walls. Sentinels gained all the ground and more. Thrash now earned from that plant. Ten's going to be leading it forwards here. See if he can get any more sort of entertainment. Yes, he can. And hot on the heels, Sentinels seek to capitalize, but defended in place. Apop A necessary engagement to win out. John now to do the most. Tens backing away. Will fall, spraying through. Damage done with the bullets, and the reload is online for him. John, chances, 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 and delivers!
You only thought that was close.
He's on his feet.
Last round before the switch.
He knows he's done them dirty there.
Hour of evil geniuses let him get away with that. Apoth does such a great job defending it. He's reloading next to a smoke. And they don't try to find the timing to punish, and they don't think about the fact he's repositioned around the corner of the smoke. Devastating for EG. But in all of those scrappy moments where EG have hookah control but Sen get on site anyway, in these wild situations, Sen are navigating them better.
And Sen, they just absorb that aggression. That is desperation by EG. Derek
Spike down, attacker
returns the
spawn.
fire at least once and will drop one of the players, but ultimately the damage has been done here for EG. They are pushed out through A short, losing control of showers.
In these kind of weird situations here, where EG have short control but have lost the site information, etc., Sen have just always been better. The intelligence of the Sen players really coming to bear in this map.
Satchel out.
Poor Jorgamo watching every possible position. I mean, they just has to satchel his way through out of there.
And they know that Jorg is playing on that side. They're going to anticipate that Derek is on B.
Hello. Definite chances here for Derek, especially after getting that one. Notice the second was tucked to the corner.
And Jorgamo still has to stay A in case they TP.
No way. His shots on fire right now for Derek. On target too, finally feeling like he's safe enough that he can use that ult, but shot down, brought down mid-air.
30 seconds
Weird
left.
round here with only 28 seconds left. Sentinels are desperately hoping that they can find themselves
Celsius
an
saw the
opening.
raise.
Celsius, yeah, he's seen both of them TP. It's called. And he does have the spikes.
Look
He's
at
going to be
EG
able to get
though.
this free one, yet they are so fast, rapidly. Wait, Celsius towards default plant, but he might have made another go of it.
He's got his ult now with the plant.
Back online here with the ult. Let it loose, let it rip, waiting for the right timing. And he's got the perfect indicator for it. As soon as that spike is tapped, first contact, there it is. Derek seeking to back away, but he cannot escape it. Not the eye of this team. 10-2. A first half that is just sheer domination.
I quite liked the way that EG was setting up their defense. They had some decent ideas. They tried to mix things up a little. But Sen, time and again, in those scrappy moments, found ways of being able to take even scenarios and push it across the line into a victory.
Yeah.
Last player
And
standing.
that final round, same kind of situation, masterfully done.
And that pure dominance just hasn't stopped. Essentially has it from the second half of Lotus. Bit of a
Was electric on Lotus. I want to see him tip of the spear again, getting in there, entry in, and at least even if Sen are able to close this out, showing that they can still perform.
some signs of life. That's what you can hope for.
Toxin screen down.
Sheriffs in play from Superman. Not enough bullets there to finish off the third target. Still, he's definitely done enough damage, and the TP is called. Full rotations away. A bit of re-exploration of John QT is shut down. Celsius cutting them up now with the ghost.
Spike
Spraying
down.
and praying when he's fully blinded up, but he doesn't have any more bullets to do the job.
He's done a lot of damage, but Nature's going to try to heal as much of that as he can. So this almost looks like an impossible situation here for Sassy, who's been playing incredibly well so far here on Vine. But is put with a task that just isn't doable.
No. We'd have to isolate so many of these fights right now. I mean, Nature, yes, is low, but double up towards lamps. Everyone down short, watching for the flank. They hear the drop, presumably. And the shot's just going awry there. So, it's a pistol round for EG. The beginning of what you were hoping for, right? They brought themselves a bit of breathing room, at least.
Yeah, and not just that, hitting some nice shots. Superman bought a Sheriff in that round and was able to pick up 2. And this one in particular on the Zekan is a great shot.
Yeah.
And then reading the fact that Sen were going to go for re-explorations in those situations, catching John and Celsius. Full eco round for Sen. When you're up this many rounds on a map that isn't incredibly snowbally, it's just about getting ults and closing things out.
Yeah.
So Sen, no need to take any risks.
Playing to the percentages. I mean, Zekan is, look at this. Saw this one before.
Yeah, literally taking every ult orb he can, while Zelsis acts as the human bullet spot.
I mean, what?
How's he got now?
Doesn't go down there. I mean, meanwhile, Superman pressured and pushed off the angle. Finally goes down. I don't know. Dodging everything, man. Still
Team
flash in the face. Yeah, Jorg him out.
And not a nice angle for Jorg to be on, to be honest, with a Spectre.
Second. Bides his time, waits it out. No chance, honestly. Bit of a fox in the pen moment. Hello. No way. It's got to be something. Hello? Anybody? Nade, drop down. He's brought half. Kills coming in. It's a 2v3. Sheriff. But surely this kill doesn't come through. Sassy. Damage being done. He's the last one left, though. We'd have to do a lot more than that. Still, gets the reload off. Heal through. Can't quite dodge the goop going flying. And so, EG, calmly able to at least deliver another round for themselves here. So, 10-4 being that differential. This upcoming one is going to be the big one, though. Bonus round. Seeing how they deal with this.
And EG are such a creative team, or can be, with Potter at the helm, that I'd love to see some kind of set play here to push them across the line on the bonus and really start to make this a serious attempt at a comeback. There's a few rounds where you know that the economy is going to swing in massive ways, and those are the times to dig deep from the playbook. What have they got here? There's going to be a big clash at short if both of these teams want to fight.
Just weighing it out, but they are going to be sending that util now. Flying forwards, take control of showers. Flash as well, along with the Trailblazer, all delayed for second. Takes the first kill, first blood in his direction with Superman down. EG still going to be going for that plant. Derek not pushed back and away.
Tens on an angle they might not expect.
That's an important kill.
Still reads it.
Yeah, still reads it. Now it's brought it to a 4-on-4 for EG. Into this post plan, they have firm control of lamps. There's 3 players all tucked together here. Jorgen being that backup policy. He's the one player into showers that really needs to stay alive here as this gets later and later into the retake for Sentinels. And how do they want to do it? Snakebite, he's disrespected it all the way through there, but the damage to the bullets, he can't quite get the kill. They're unaware. Still, finally cleaning him up, spraying him through and down, and out the right click's getting betrayed. That's Derek again, trying to make the move. Second away, finally. So EG, they do make the most of that bonus round, and they do earn a rifle on the other end of it. Economy's going to be flourishing.
Good stuff from EG.
Yeah.
Exactly when they need it, they pull out a quick A split, getting very deep towards showers at the start of the round. Have a snakebite line up to put more pressure on Tens so he can't fight over it. And you notice that the SEN players still had Brim Molly and Raisnay that they didn't use to deny Clapped, because they were forced back so far by the EG exec utility.
Yeah.
That's a nice execute. Really well done A split.
Is Derek still using the Sentinels Classic?
I haven't been looking, to be honest.
That's why I mean, it threw me for a loop. He didn't miss that kill. I was like, okay.
The contract said 5 gifted. I don't know whether that was per match.
Oh, what a punish. Here in the jump spot, pre-aiming at top of the corner. Hard to pull that one off, even if you know it's coming. Second holding his nerve. And the nade. Waiting for a bit of util to get used, and he will just let that nade rip to see if he can delay and buy a bit of time for the rest of his team, which they are already here. They've stacked it.
Yeah, they also know that nature is B long, because he just took the ult orb.
There it is. Flash clear into hookah. Stand with the rifles. There's danger, though. There's always danger. Molly's going to be forcing them back and away. Actually, getting a heads-up read here that they might be trying to just pivot and rotate over towards A. Look at this, and it is a correct read. Hard rotation with the players through. EG making the moves over towards A now, taking the
30
TP.
seconds left.
This is an incredible call. I'm not sure who's made it, but again, Sentinel's going to be applying that danger. Flash broken. Tens falls. Plant finally down for EG, and just like that, steadily, the options running out here for Sentinel. So, I was crediting the macroing and their ability to really just follow the sound cues there.
One of the big problems was that they didn't have any ability to deny wingman.
Yeah.
If they'd been able to stop the plant, then maybe there's a chance. Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
How's he done that? the reactions to hit a shot like that. I mean, try it in your own games.
That's what I mean. Even
You're not doing it.
if you know it's coming, it's so damn hard to hit. But
Yeah.
they're the best players in the world on these stages, so they are better than me and you, Josh.
If you say so.
I know so. I know so.
Sen fighting really heavy over showers.
Rapid! Flash going to be blinding them up, though. It means that they can't really take a fair fight. Stalemate on either side. Hello, where's that one going? Look out through the window. Didn't even know that was a possibility.
Launching smoke.
Smoke's dropped down, orbital strike. That's a catch and punish a player that might have just been trying to retreat out the back of showers. EG aware that they've lost control of this one, and it could be the thorn in their sides once more. Sentinels fast now. I'll take this rapidly here, but it's a thrash going to be used in response. Detainment. It's one of the players, Zelsis, his job to try and lock this one forward. Second with the showstopper, holding it with the fuse, and he's just looking for one target to let loose, let rip. No kills to be found. 4v4 though. His flank of Sassy is imperative. He finds it online, lets loose the O, but he will get traded. Nevertheless, Tens to fuse, denied from the wingman. Close quarters action occurring. Apov, last one to stand. He's going to try and stop this one himself now. The 1v2, Tens just sticking the defuse onto half. The nerve of the guy. Holds it all the way down, gets the kill with the molly as well, and forced him off earlier. I missed that one. That's the reason they got off of it.
Another great round from EG. And Sen have got a real problem right now. This is not just the fact that they're, you know, EG are winning a few rifle fights or something like that. EG are getting access to the site and the plant down so easily.
Enemy remaining.
And then from there, they have tons of utility still to be able to play the post plan. Sen need to find opportunities to stop these hits from coming through. And most of the time on A, at least, EG are... They're kind of pivoting between doing splits through showers and just sending everybody short. But I think very high up in the air. Takes a long time to land, allows you to take the fight at the same time as the molly's being used. Are Sen going to make an adaptation with the setups? It looks fairly similar to start the round, at least. Derek's got an attack side op that he's taking over towards B long.
That is interesting.
He's not known for op.
No, he's really not. See, what's he do with it, though? I mean, able to get the punish onto Sassy, who was just jump spotting for that info in a prior round.
Coming out of this timeout for EG, I would be expecting Sen to go for re-clears. So anything where you can fake a bit of pressure on the map and then bait Sen into using a bunch of utility, I think that's what you want to be doing for at the start of the round, but EG are taking it real slow, very cautious.
What's going on here? Tens. Tucked and crouched Superman. Could be favored onto the angle there. Great awareness of Tens to realize that could be an option. In fact, he wants to take even more of a fight. Look at this. Smoke's dropped at his back. Turns away the crosshair placement for just a moment, but it's all him right now. It's a one-man army. They just cannot cross that line. I threw a short. Apov and Derek now just trying to get a bit of a move on. Jump in right into the site here. Sassy, his game plan is just to try and hold on to control of B long, but now the reposition here. Wingman out and open. He's heard player at least into elbow, I believe. Knows that Derek.
Enemy remaining.
He's going to be there, and even the ult being committed to make sure that they can seal this one up nice and clean. So, Sen finally stop this momentum, that wind in the sail that was there for EG, getting that string of rounds on their attack side.
But that's very strange because all of those attack side rounds were based off doing large execute kind of plays. And after the tack timeout, EG decided to try to play a slow round where their Gecko was attack side opping to try to set up a fight. I mean, talk about moving away from what was working for you.
Unusual.
Tens being able to get kills there is all well and good, but Sen actually didn't prove that they can stop an execute from happening. That round, I'm almost taken as an outlier. We'll see if EG go back into doing some of their more execute heavy stuff, which it seems like they're doing now. Taking some B control very early.
Way ahead of the snake bite. We push back and away from this one. John spotted. Boombot pops up to the box, so he's going to be avoiding. At least the nade wasn't even landing in his direction here, but now making the call for the re-clear. Sassy, Trailblazer, info. Gathered. At least one player's there.
Tens and Zekken were itching to go through that teleport and try to sand crunch. But Didn't quite get the connection with the dog, and Superman's watching from top short.
All being slowed down and paused. I mean, Sen, they do have tools to try and stop this one and stunt it if an EG hit starts to come through, and here's one of them. Okay, take the fight to them! Everybody falls! Celsius even committing the orbital strike. I mean, that was what I was talking about when it comes to tools to stun that push. Not a proactive play through the flash, but how does that happen?
The call is a little bonkers, but the idea is, as far as I can tell, you flash through the Viper wall at the same time as Tens and Zekken tried to fight. Look, they're about to go for that sand crunch. So the sand crunch I was talking about, they had just lost short control to Superman at the exact time they went for that. They could have just played passively and allowed the Brimot to do the work.
Yeah.
And instead they're trying to be disruptive, and Superman read it. Of course, it doesn't help that Sassy also died inside Hookah. So like I said, that previous round, it was an anomaly. You know, it didn't actually prove anything about Sen being able to stop these hits on the defense. A high-low setup over towards Truck as John QT dominates B-Long with his pit.
Try and cleave through it. It's a hard one. Oh, nice bullets, but no kill. Knows the appropriate angle, though. Derek softens up ever so slightly.
Tens is looking to make the rotate over towards B here, anticipating that this could be a Hookah pop. They need a little bit of information. Sassy's got one more flash that he could use to try to clear Hookah, but they haven't really gone for it. They've just kind of waited long enough, and now Tens is getting the idea that it might be a short pop.
The Trailblazer flash as well. Backs away from that truck position. Second, and decide to take the early peek.
Wingman, any denial? Yes.
There is the denial this time. Yes, even that. Kills can be found online for them. Ten still dropping it down here, holding, doubled up. Him and Celsius might be able to do more than deny, but just getting spammed down themselves. There's only 17 seconds left here. What is the call to be made by EG? In through the back of the site, fighting this one forwards. Tens with the flash, but is again just going to get sprayed down and traded. Showstopper. Guess what? No players in sight. Sentinels, they were still locked down onto the B site in case it was a TP pivot.
Every plan there for Sen was to use Celsius smokes to apply pressure to the players planting, but they lost the spam battle.
Yeah.
Little bit of luck involved, but all went the way of EG.
That's all it takes sometimes, just that coin flip going the wrong way. Sen now to try and play this retake. Gonna wade their way through the pit. As the spike ticks away, so do your chances. All your opportunities, and they've realized it. Making no noise now, backing away with the two rifles that they can at least keep. So EG, again, keeping that momentum going. One slight slip up in the round. Hello, rifles, Apop going down. He does have money to spend though for the next.
Sen,
see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, they're back up to full, you know, full compensation, full loss bonus. It's these kind of kills though. Celsius, yeah, he gets one, but every kill that Sen got through the smoke was either traded out or ended up, you know, getting overwhelmed. There were just more bodies there for EG. So if you're going even through the smoke like that, you're going to end up...
Good time for Sentinels to take some risks. They're not really having to worry too much about that economy. Only the one rifle.
Yeah, I think something that Sen could try to do is go for a contact push out through showers. They know that Superman has been watching short, even really into the late round. He's been watching short and punishing Tens and Seconds. So if you can sneak up behind him, you know, look at the way that EG are defaulting right now with nobody watching showers at all.
Yeah.
It's Superman's job to watch a lot over towards A. It's hard to get that read, though. It's easy for us to see it. But for Sen, if they're never testing that, they're never really understanding where those people are.
EG look like they're going to be defaulting straight back into what was working. Seekers now pushing forward. Second, getting ahead of most of them now, making sure they can play that close cut-up angle, and it has at least put enough push back to EG. They don't want anything to do with the B site. Fast rotations now over towards A, and this time it's up to Tens to be that playmaker once more with a flash in his hand. He's missed the timing. Satchel over the top as well. Celsius now, his time to see if he can really put some good work here with a classic, putting it to test. Another right click, almost another kill.
But there's just not enough bodies here for Sen.
Spotting out his Tigers though. Hello, Apoth. Back to the wall, not expecting that Sassy could be there. Nature's low enough.
And if John's able to pick up a rifle, suddenly...
It is.
Yeah.
Rifles online.
It's become somewhat doable.
Snake bite to clear out bench. No, they don't have to watch for that one now. Tap from John. What's the first sign here from EG? Kills. Right side there, the crossfire setups, just winning them out.
And so EG navigate another anti-eco round, putting down Sen.
Yeah.
Those players over towards A, they didn't have the weaponry. And like you said, Ten's just not anticipating that. I really like it from Jorg too. He's at the top of short and he blast packs through to put a lot of pressure on somebody. And that syncs up a double swing between him and Superman down short. Very nicely done. Now, any kind of big execute here will then have Apoth with his orbital strike, with a molly. There's just so many tools for post. Tens has an op looking towards short. Can he catch them before
escaping.
the exec begins? It doesn't look easy.
Lands it! Adjusting. Yeah. Nails Derek to the backboard, and Jorgmo next on the kill feed. Still, they are pushing them back entirely here. The orbital strike was committed a bit prior. Sen still holding control of that backside area. Throwing EG for a loop. To Nature and Apoth now. They do swing forwards. Flash re-peek into the back of the site is excellent. It's imperative now that these players do stay alive if they want a chance into the round. Nature planting. Could we push back, but he's aware that there could be a flank online.
And there is a flank, but it's come so far. Sassy pushed all the way out of B long, and he's on the opposite side of the map going showers. I think this is quite difficult to read.
With all that time given, EG reposition. Double up now into lamps. It's up to Sen to see if they can clear most of this one. Now Sassy has util to do it, but doesn't choose to use it. He wants a contact, but now he can use it. They know his positioning. Drop down from John QT, second flash. No connection here, but he's still going to lock this one down, so the Sassy at least gets the defuse. No, he's had to get off of it. Doesn't get the half! And another kill! Locked down by EG here. Evened up 11-11.
Apoth has been a monster today. He has been amazing. He was first half of Lotus. He was crushing it.
Yeah.
Jorg's going to steal the headlines, but Apoth was phenomenal on Lotus. And every time it comes to some kind of post-plant situation, he's there.
One enemy
Utility,
remaining.
rifle, winning the 1v1s. He's a pillar for EG. Unshakable.
Nature and Apoth just making such incredible decisions. Flash retaking that prior round, just making a difference to turn that into a 2v4 to a 2v2,
Yeah.
to a winnable round.
Yeah, the push into back sight off the back of Nature's flash was so good. Set up perfectly. But again, Sen allowing them that front sight control, even after Tens was able to pick off two.
Thrash committed.
Didn't spot Tens.
Didn't spot it. He's locked into that corner. Tries to get ahead of it. At least with the Dizzy blinding him up, and he is still going to be trapped into this spot here, still deciding what he wants to do.
The fact that Sen are going to dominate B long control now means that Derek he's never getting that thrash back.
No.
But look at Superman's position here. He is so deep in lamps already, and the dog is going in the opposite direction, so Zelsys might not read this at all.
What's going on? Thrash clears out showers, plant. Need to rebound, doesn't actually deny it, so they get that plant down, and just unaware that that lamps angle could have even been contested. Superman, he's done so much for them.
They disguised it really well.
Yeah, being heard now as well, just hot onto the heels right behind them. And Sentinels just trying to increase that pace and tempo, a rapid approach into the round, but they're blinded up and flashed up. Nature, fights taken, but eventually traded once more. Jordan nade backs, but he catches himself onto the corner, still EG. They wrap it up, collecting all the kills and filling up the feed with red. Up to 12.
Match point.
One more round will do it.
Let's make them hurt.
Sentinels cannot figure out how to deal with this. It was a more slow, reactive, defaulting approach from Sen on their attack side, but EG are hitting things hot, heavy. Sen have got no answer.
No.
And this is not being powered by Jorkamoa at the tip of the spear, ripping everybody's heads off. He's only got 8 kills.
Yeah, 8 and 15. I mean, he's playing his role well, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, he's making space, but this is not a superstar impacting the game. This is a great understanding that SEN have just got no idea what to do against this.
Blinded.
EG with quite a cautious beginning.
So if the hit comes into B here, we're going to see SEN go for something similar to what we saw from EG earlier on. Dominate hookah. They have John Cutie with the judge. Sassy can play inside hookah as well. And then you can get those teleports going. Jorg might find it difficult to stay alive.
Sand Crunch. It's being called. Jorgamo. It's got those satchels, but he can't get out alive still. Vulnerability applied. Superman going for the second one, swinging this one. Alpha 10s can evacuate and retreat. Least to safety now with a TP. Door still open, and he finds it. 3 now to stand here for EG. But a molly at their feet, they just can't quite claim that. Kills Elsis. He's getting away with it, not quite. Plant. 2v3. EG. And this is for the map, a continuation of the series. Will Sentinels get their time to try and close this one out in a 2-0 fashion? They're just trying to earn their way to OT.
They have a player advantage, but they have no info about where EG are.
This fight is important. Tens lose it out. And how do Sentinels take it? On the cusp, on the precipice, time running short and running away from them. EG realize it, they recognize it, and they can feel it and sense it out. Sassy burned to a crisp. And if the molly didn't do it, the button certainly did. 13-11, EG going all the way here. Map number 3. Oh, finally, you've brought the Sentinels all the way and dragged them out to a map that some might consider it their home ground. They're definitely very, very well rehearsed on it.
They are. I mean, I think that home ground has actually already been batted like first round by EG. That would be split, but this is a pretty decent second for them. And EG did lose on this map just recently too. So again, on paper, SEN are the favorites. That doesn't make any difference.
Toss the paper up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't mean anything. Not in Super Week. Second. In through the choke. Nadal take care of that unbreakable trip, so they've got access to the site now. And we'll see probably a bit of a classic affair. Hello, actually denying the plan. Never mind. Let's pause into the play here, but a Paranoia is a second wave of that util. It's going to allow them to try and at least get a bit more ground. Jorgamo, granted one. Just with that kill, pressing forward, seeing if they can use all that util. EG winning it out with this pistol round once more. Under their belt, just keeping it going.
Very nicely done. They had a stun nade combo to deal with Wingman that forced the second wave out of SEN, and it bought time for Superman to come through B main. He wrapped around on the flank and got really far behind them and just got 3 easy kills. The SEN players didn't even know where he was coming from. So great understanding of EG, what they need to do. You always need to be able to deny plant and then see if you can set up a secondary win condition. They had a high-low setup in market as well. Had Superman not been able to do something there. Lovely beginning for EG. Now, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but that is only the 8th defense round of the entire map for both teams combined.
Yeah.
People have just not been winning on defense at all.
Not where the strengths have been placed.
So, I am expecting this map to buck the trend. I think EG are probably going to be a bit more comfortable on the attack
Superman.
side. But
Superman needs the cover and fire of Apoff.
oh, and he is there.
Yeah.
But even so, like I was saying, getting that pistol round off the ground, if you are going to trend attack-sided, at least you got this to be able to work on. In theory, the EG comp does have a lot of places that you could run trap plays. It's actually a little difficult to get them working. I think it's easier when you have maybe even the Gecko online and you can...
Yeah.
To be honest, Sunset's just a difficult map when you're on defense to try to capitalize on stuff. It's mostly about using utility to push the attackers back, not necessarily to get the kills off the back of it.
Catch them.
I'd agree with that. Sentinels, though, just seeing if they can scope out some of the setup. Overwhelm it now, just with the raw bodies.
Spike down
Aftershock, that'd be good there in terms of the placement. It is.
Very nice. Set up with the fault line as well, so John could not escape.
24 seconds left. This again, just gathering that information, so we knowing that there's that mid-trip, pretty common.
One of the massive strengths, I think, of EG's composition, or this kind of style of comp.
Where are you sending the spike?
10
I
seconds
mean,
left.
it doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere.
enemy remaining.
They're walking into
Spike
EG,
down
into
A.
the maw. But I think one of the big strengths of EG's compositional archetype is that you can stack a strong side of the map with Initiator utility or a Paranoia and Jorgamo, And then the weak side of the map is where you have your Cypher. So if they want to rush the weak side, they're getting snarled up in trips, and it's going to take them time to navigate. But SEN used to play this composition themselves,
Spike down
so they should be
A.
pretty good at figuring out its weaknesses. That's what you would be expecting anyway from the team that won Masters Madrid.
Yeah, certainly. Trip setups though, alternating.
Yeah, there's so many different setups you can run.
Yep.
I think Com demonstrated that, former EG player, that there are just almost an infinite amount of ways that you can set up the Cypher for value.
Variations on it. This is nice. Control of B main early. Like you said, with all the Sentinel players, Jorg's there early as well. He's going to hoover up the orb.
And again,
One step closer.
strong side over towards B, weak side with the Cypher on A. And then you can mix it up a couple of times on your defense where it feels like the strong side, but then it has trips behind it.
Trying to get a move on, though, over towards the A side. The trouble is, it's quite a distance to try and get over, so you're going to be making a lot of noise in the process here. Apoth chances. He's with the raw spray through with all those bullets. Double flash play. Apoth has to respect it now, and he will back away. Plant. Having to push it away and back. Lovely molly.
Planted.
Nade just sailing into the right corner and spot there where Apoth was just trying to hide.
This is a really nice spot because you don't get caught by the paranoia, but did get caught by that flash.
And then just trying to play off with it. Paranoia pushing forward. Celsius capitalizing off the advantage. Still kills. Going to be evened out here. Might even be forcing these ults out of Sassy. Has it available just in case it's needed.
The call made to save it.
2 players left alive on EG. I think it should be a smart one. Assuming that they can get themselves around it. Fault line. At least with the one, should be a kill. Indeed, it is, but it's crossfire setup, and now finally the ult. Just to really seal it up. No more time left allowed or available into this round. So EG, consolation prize. A lot of damage being done to the economy here for Sentinels.
Yeah, that's an astoundingly good bonus round.
And the ult pulled out.
Yes. You force Thrash. Every single gun drop for SEN. Apart from getting the round win on the board, it couldn't go better for you. And you see here that Sentinels actually do understand what they need to be doing in the post-plant. They can't just hold post-plant positions because you're going to get hit by stun, paranoia. There's a great paranoia that Superman's going to throw that catches people at default and in that back diagonal corner. And so instead, they're trying to be proactive and take the fight over towards A-Link. They have got a buy out the back of this. Light armor on everybody and a Guardian for 10s.
Deep haunt over towards A. Jorgamo happy to take that angle up. Could have even chose to just play the angle aggressively with a showstopper, but might still do so. Does need to worry, though, about Celsius with a knife.
Now we're seeing... Zels is giving a lot of respect there to that potential play over on the A side. We're seeing a lot of teams just default break the trip at the top mid, but SEN are not going for that. It's pretty spammable.
5-4. Loose here alongside a paranoia.
Bear's over.
That's a rocket just sailing a serene arc there right into 10s with him dropped. That's going to make things much more doable. Jorgamo just got a walkabout. It's disrespectful, really. It's in his nature. He's going to take those liberties. Still, we'll see. How can SEN bail themselves out of this spot? There is still 40 seconds left into the round, which can be enough to work with.
Look, if they'd broken the trip earlier on, there would be so much more worry in the hearts of EG. 30 seconds left, and they've still got
straight into
market here. Remark it.
Yep, and the fault line stun. Just off of that first contact! What an adjustment from nature!
That's filthy. But SEN were not expecting there to be 3 players ready to receive them there. EG were not worried about any kind of pathing through top mid. They just left Jorg to cover A site on his own.
Yeah.
Happy to play the retake. What a lovely re-clear of mid. So many teams with these kind of strategies. Very reminiscent of what Leviathan were going for. But beautifully cooked up. I found the gorgeous timing.
Let's go, Derek.
Let's go.
Yep.
Oh, this guy just swung mid and one-tapped me.
Good fights. I was...
But, once Derek had died, Jorg had already done all of the work. He's 7-1.
He had.
This time, A is very weak for EG.
Very weak indeed. I mean, no trip setups here. It's only Derek trying to feign like, okay, they are playing the fade over towards here, so there could be more players lurking around, but Derek's just forced to give the space up. So one hell of a round to pick it. The Sentinels just go all in on their eco round, see if they get this plant as well.
The ultimate there for Superman kind of faked out a little bit. It allows him to get over here quickly for the retake, but also maybe Sen are going to be worried about this. There shouldn't be too many chances for Sen to win the round, only with pistols.
No. But Zekken did earn his ult. Just from that plant, stand up into the corner. Now that has put the fear of God into the EG players. Paranoia. Sent alongside it, the fuse is going to be running out, but there's the kill to be found, and a gun, an upgrade claimed for Zelsis. Picks that one up and now seeks to defend the back section of the site. Still, they do have that disadvantage when it comes to the weaponry, and so it's all on Zelsis. But is 2 going to be enough? Going to push back and away, chalking over to the fuse. Another kill. Has he bought enough time? Sentinels from the brink, from the bloody edge, and up on his feet. A monumental turning point there, at least for this first half.
When Zekken pops the ultimate, they're in just a straight up 5v5. But not only does it kind of delay the retake and stop EG from capitalizing on the fault line, he gets a kill off the back of it and can snowball that because Zelsis picks up a weapon. What a way of turning things around and halting the momentum of EG. The economy flips completely, and now Zelsis has his ult. If they can find where the Cypher's playing, although having said that, EG with a good anti-KO setup, running the Cypher on the A site while the trips are on B.
Well away from it, yeah. Round from Sen, hello, shots.
Just a pre-fire.
Online. We've seen Derek go huge on this map before. Surely we don't see back-to-back thrifties. It's going to be jiggling here, seeking to delay with the C's.
I'm always worried when teams run an anti-eco and they don't do anything for the first minute of the round.
Yeah, because time is going to really become your biggest enemy.
Yeah, and you give the defenders a lot of info. I mean, you're trying to play quiet to deny it, but you haven't broken trips or cam or anything like that. So they keep good info for a long time.
Inviting opportunities. Maybe a chance for EG. Look at this. Then they rip now here with that no command. Sent flying through the back of the site. Now Tens does have that paranoia. Lovely movement from Zekken. Straight up in their faces. Now he was near-sighted, but despite the blind, it did not matter. He had the rest of his team to help him out. Over the last few should be Jorgamo. Caught, wandering, trying to catch that flank angle. So 3-3. Sentinels drawing it nice and even early on here for Sunset.
Zels is forced to use an ultimate. That's a huge one for the attack side, but I think Sen will be super happy about that. The fact that they've managed to stem some bleeding. All we've seen in this game so far is teams running away with leads. It's been one of the streakiest matches I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get streaky matches when one team just destroys another, but for every single half to have been like that in the match so far is bizarre. So getting something that's a bit more back and forth, it's going to feel good for both sides. Whoa, that's aggressive from Superman.
Very aggressive. I mean, if they just chose to take that flash timing a little bit earlier.
Backwards into B main.
So wide. There's no way he's adjusting his aim, but he does get away with at least breaking that knife. Here we go. An attempt made, but shut down. Containment is there. Might be able to get a kill. Apoff. He's taking up that space once more, though. Just trying to avoid these bullets away from it inside the smoke, and they do deny that plan, but dealing with Apoff. Still, put a pause into the round. Whether Sen wanted it or not. TP faking it out. Tens is inside the smoke now. Expecting it onto the high ground angle and approach. I think that's just spam potentially. No, it's Derek. It's taking up that main angle. Kills all over the place here, but only 3 bullets left for Zelsis and not a lot of health to do it. They peek him together. And a kill collected once more. It is back and forth, man. It's scrappy at times, but EG holding on to a bit of a lead.
And I love what EG are doing with their B defense. Somehow, Superman's in position to kill 2 over towards Market. So already a huge advantage for EG. What is this?
Yeah.
The fault line to back him up as well. But it's this flank that's happened both times Sentinels have tried to go B.
Okay.
The plant gets denied, and then because that takes so much longer then for Sentinels to get into good...
Number of them. Showstopper, Nightfall, Rolling Thunder. Could cause any number of issues if they end up getting earned. EG have been disrespecting this B main take of Sen. At least Superman has.
This time though, contacting, no knife being thrown, a cam.
Close most of it. That's away the info too. It's a flash and an A to peek through Zekken. He's in with the satchel still. All that util being broken. Turns. It's back to the wall here. He popped. No shot, no chance. Eventually dropped.
So they've gone in fast onto B, taken the fight to EG, and got in before the plant could get denied.
Question is, has Apoth done enough, especially with Jorgemite? He's holding it heavy, artillery ready and waiting. Right to the feet. And second, it's turned to mince meat. Jorgemite though, that's the dodge and weave around this pillar, and Sassy. That's precise. Able to adjust the aim in time there to bring this one again. It's 4-4.
This is
So
guaranteed.
back and forth.
This is guaranteed to be our most even half. We've had a 9-3 and then a 10-2. Even if one of the teams runs away from it from here, it's going to be more even than we've seen so far. This time, very different approach to the beginning of the round from SEN. And then even with EG, 3 players on the retake, all 3 very close to their ultimates or had it online. And SEN managed to spread out. They didn't just default back to that B main post plant situation, which would have been too readable in that spot, I think. So great calling on the fly from them and a great adjustment from Kaplan. But how many times can you run a strat like that?
Still, Sentinels have found that economical advantage, narrowly avoiding it. Jeez, fault line, it's a flash, it's a nade, it's all rebounding, ricocheting. Zelsis, man, he's not allowed to play the game!
But he's given information that there were 3 players over towards A. So he's made this call for SEN to hit B. They should be able to get planned down. There isn't really any denial here. The issue is EG have got massive ults for retake. Look at it, Nightfall, Rolling Thunder. If SEN all just drop back into B main, I think this could be a bit of an issue.
It's a chance for sure, but you gotta think, I mean, it's only
timing
Jorgemite
the
with...
Nightfall.
Yeah, Tens is way ahead of it. Insanity! Just dropping him inside the smokes, and Jorgemite. It's a level of unawareness, and that's a timeout accounting for it.
Oh, that is so good from Tens. EG have got such huge ultimates, and Sentinels could have very easily fallen over there, even with the better weaponry. It's a teleport play that he goes for in order to get inside this smoke. He goes in front of the Nightfall, doesn't give away that he's on site, and cuts off those players that are getting in for the retake.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It's not just that as well, the prior adjustments they were taking and talking about in the timeout. The flanks coming in.
Yeah.
Jorgemite was a threat in that round, arguably, I mean, with the rifle in his hands, but John QT deals with him.
I think they're getting a good read of what EG's setups look like. This one, I'm not huge on. This is what EG have gone for a couple times where it's just the Cypher over towards A. I'd like to see them run a weak side that still had somebody supporting Apoth so that they can do a little bit of spam, a little bit more pressure. Because Senna getting the site too easily.
This is excellent. The site, Zekken. It looks like he's out in the open here, but he's playing an off angle. Should be able to get one kill. And he has his ults really just overstay that welcome. Rolling Thunder. Now he's going to use it. Doesn't matter if he's stunned up. And it is going to put that pause once more into the round. It saved him last time when they were on that Thrifty. Rocket Fuse running short, but it doesn't matter. The kill is there, EG. Can they pave the way and can they really battle through all of this one, especially with that flank coming out from John QT. Superman defusing, half on board already, and it is being defended. Locked down onto these angles. Sideline stuck all the way. And yes, everybody falls, but EG, they win the round.
That's a rough one, man, from Sen's POV. They had the flash, they were ready to peek, but it's not planted in that tuck default position. It's out in the open. In theory, a better place, but nobody's A-Link, and John's flank a little too late. It looked really nice the way that they popped Zekken's ult to stop the retake happening. But EG just plowed forwards. Really decisive retake from them.
No hesitation.
Especially considering we had 0 successful retakes on Bind, not one. I mean, that's the first one we've seen in eons.
It just starts a while for this game. That is an unusual smoke. I mean, it just cuts into the floor. And Celsius goes down. That's an early peek from Tiles. I mean, Jorgemite, how's he found his way into there early? To catch it onto the replay a little bit earlier. The center left wondering, now which direction do we really take this round into? Losing a player for your opening, never ideal. The door being closed down. Market, a decision being made for them, really. Contacting, though. This can be risky.
As soon as Jorgemite sees that smoke, he should have an idea that there's somebody trying to pass through mid.
And still alive.
I say see, I mean here, but
Yeah, drop down to 3 health.
EG are still dominating B main. It's a really odd round where Sen have control of the middle of the map. Can they catch Jorgamo again?
They do.
And I think what we saw on Bind is when Sen found themselves in tricky spots like this on their attack side, they were so good at figuring out the correct decision.
It's a bit of an experience diff.
30
It's a
seconds
high-low
left.
now for Sen. Towards Boba, the map really just flipped on its head. TP forward, Superman
Wow.
pretty much required. I mean, the man's got a judge near-sighted. Can't quite fire it blindly into the traces. Tens gets away with it. Still, Sassy is avoiding all of that utility that was sent flying across the map. Pop with a Spectre. I mean, it's disrespectful. He's all over the place, but John QT mops up that kill. What can he do in this spot? Flash avoided and dodged. Nature spots him up top now. The call is made for EG. These two players need to double up here. Derek, side by side. John QT could be pulling off an absolutely magical performance. There's the first one. Nature not gaining it, not having the defuse, but the kill will seal it up anyway.
Had to hit that one, Nature. He'd shot with the Guardian just before. Had to go back, tap, headshot with the Guardians. Lovely to put EG up to 6.
Last round in the half.
It wasn't a difficult bar to clear, making it the most competitive half-flip that we've had in this match. But this one, it really has just been much more of the adaptation and figuring out each other, rather than one team just getting the edge.
It's been excellent to see. I mean, in a sea of just one-sided performances over the course of Super Week, to actually see that back and forth between two teams.
Yeah. And what a round from Apoth, too. How has he managed to do 2 with the Spectre in that? Playing inside the cage. Knife for market. It's going to tag onto Jorgamo here and let them know that the raise is over in that direction.
Okay, no command.
It's not catching the Cypher.
Go button press, Superman! Seeking to do some damage there, just playing and dominating that main angle, but he's brought down. Jorgamo does up the Phantom. Surely doesn't make a go of this one here. There's a trip at his feet. He spotted it out, broken. Goes for it. Not sure if there was some util to at least just combine and conjunct it together here. Tens eager to really take even more fights away from them here because this is the final round of the half for EG. Your options are now massively limited.
I feel like with the lighter weaponry, EG lost the plot a little bit. So many solo plays in this round so far.
Yeah.
Whereas Sen sticking together, supporting each other, a flash peek to close things out. A 6-6 half. Couldn't get closer.
Could not get closer.
But-
6-2-6.
But I want to remind people, we've seen no team do well on defense. Coming into this match, we had 7 rounds total from both teams combined on defense. So maybe EG have already done enough by
Yeah.
getting 6.
Something is going amiss right now, but we'll see and find out, of course. I mean, the series about to be answered as well, especially when you take a gander at the defensive halves of these teams. For Sentinels, they're going to want to get that pistol round starting. Build up the economy, build up the momentum. But for EG, they're on the cusp of pulling off the impossible, really.
In this pistol round, full initiator utility being bought for both initiators on EG.
Dizzy, flash, re-engagement, it's all being combined and connected. Surely it's a little bit messy. Sentinels barely seeing if they can squeeze out the edge in that mid-fight.
Nice reaction from EG. Realizing that they were losing the mid-fight, or rather, you know, the mid-fight was petering out, let's say. And they decided to pop into B, make sure they can get the plant. Didn't hit the trip. I mean, what are we looking at over here with Apoth? I mean, you are miles away.
Absolutely, eons away. He's got to get a move on, he's got to get a jog on here. It's already, that pressure's being applied here with the tap and tens with the kill. John QT, though, dropped down to 15 health. One single bullet will do it, a reload! And a smoke fades, clearing the way.
Great pistol from EG. Really utilizing both teams, all of that initiator utility that they brought into the pistol. EG went for a very classic mid take there. Sen went for a mid re-clear, and the EG players that were in B main just decided, yep, this is our chance, going to accelerate into the push. Great response from them, and good shots being hit too. I mean, Superman does a good job there of being able to take down Second, and put themselves up into a favored situation. EG in the driving seat.
This is a nice spot.
Sentinels that took a thrifty to swing that momentum back, at least to make it even in this first half. Thrifty and some ultimates, which they're not going to be anywhere near.
Second's game plan on Bind when it comes to these ecos is literally just to run around and hoover up the ult orbs.
A lot of noise being made here by the SEN players. I think EG don't really want too much to do with this market, but it's going to be that face with the guns, seeing if they can earn themselves a free kill. Good discipline from EG, though. Cam will be able to see all. Great spot onto the players. They can't quite pre-fire it either.
But are taken out.
SEN can now look to try and stack.
With Apop not going down, though, there isn't too much danger here. SEN are going to try to play a little bit of a flood, put pressure on the planter.
Last player standing.
Yeah, a few kills coming through.
Down A.
Denying the plant for now. Maybe even a few more. 2 bullets. No, it's watched for.
No. But usually that's not going to be how SEN play the A-side defense.
Yeah.
Normally, they're going to be looking to play retakes with an overwhelming amount of utility. They've got nades to come through, a paranoia on the line, flashes, molly, and then all of the Gecko util too. It can be very overwhelming the way that SEN play the retake A. But we've seen more and more teams in post-plan figure out good ways of being able to use their initiator utility to put pressure on.
Give me a gun, give me a gun, give me a gun. I can't short A, short A.
Here.
Had to cancel the fist bump there.
It's getting frantic.
Satchel out.
Bonus round again for EG. Let's see what they can do. Jorgamo. He hasn't taken a pause or a breather so far from his absolutely sublime performance in the first half.
This is very fast up through mid.
Yeah, they are just fully disrespecting it. Look at it. I mean, they're going to put a squeeze onto this Boba play. I mean, Tenza stands up entirely. John, he's got to respond, and he will do so. Blinded up, but still gets the 2 kills necessary, in fact.
Derek may end up getting pressured here as well. They're going to figure out where Derek's positioned.
Got the info. Showstopper. This is Jorgamo, I believe, just holding on to it.
It's difficult for SEN to do anything in this spot. They don't know where Jorg is. He's not making too much noise. Now he gives it away. Knife just came back online for Celsius.
How did they want to hold this one into the post? Ten's on live, can't quite smoke it off from main angles. EG looking to take these fights forwards with the boomba. Double swing! And it's beautiful, really. Absolutely meticulous stuff from SEN. Taking on the defuse here, there's really no chance. And so 8-7, Sentinels win their gun round, they shut down that bonus.
There's a decent amount of damage done there, but it's not the greatest bonus that we've seen in the world. This pathing, though, almost caught them off guard. Tens, with his dying breath, managed to get off the paranoia that John was able to work with. Other than that, if he hadn't, in the moment, sent out that flash, could well have been curtains for SEN.
This goes here.
And actually, what sells it is the pace. EG were up mid onto that trip very quickly. Way before SEN had done something over towards A. You have to match the pace of your opponent.
Feels incredibly similar. Look at this. I mean,
Very fast.
yeah, very quick. Out through mid, in through B main. A little bit mistimed in terms of the peek off the flash, but still almost able to collect that kill, and they still want to apply that pressure. Heat turned up entirely. Tens just backs against the wall towards the pillar. Satchel's out, holding his ground and holding it down with the rocket. Rebounding and no kill found.
Standing.
Saw collapsed in a moment there.
Celsius,
Spike
he's got
planted.
something to say about it. The plant goes off though. No problems with that one. Still does damage done to plenty of these players, but he's got to try and find these fights. Apov, not going to be going for any cheeky flank plays, just regrouping out through main. Celsius dropping down, making noise. Bullet fired. He's worried about that market. Swing nature. Just takes him out anyway.
This pace is ruining SEN. EG are so fast through mid. The Sentinels are trying to set up some coordination and control info towards A main with all of their initiator setups. And EG have already taken mid through market and are splitting B. Yeah, Zekin's disappointed about that one, but even if he had got the kill, I don't think that makes it winnable for Celsius.
Yeah.
He gets cheated perhaps just a little with that one, but EG were quick into positions, putting good utility pressure on their opponents and hitting good shots. They're in control of the game, looking to deliver us, for sure, the biggest upset that it would be of Super Week.
You'd have to say. You'd have to say so. Paranoia though, re-clear out in a fight. Just don't quite have the guns through him with the util online. God almighty.
This is one of the first rounds where we're seeing, I mean, the pistol was very similar to this, where SEN are looking to apply a lot of pressure at the same time as EG are taking mid. These are fast fights in mid. First 10, 15 seconds. And the thing is, if Sen can do that kind of
There.
counter-utility play with rifles online, then EG have got to start making mid-round decisions, and maybe you can start to punish them more. The strengths from EG that we have seen in this match and this year have been in their set ideas and their executes.
Here.
If you can push things off rhythm, make the rounds go longer, Sen might have more of a chance.
This round lead is going to creep higher and higher here for EG. Very little opportunities for Sen to get back into this particular round. The tide, I mean, it's just shifted at a moment's notice. They will make a go of things. Contacting up. Second, seeing the jiggle, but not really the weapon for the job there, not with the stinger.
Shot my wingman.
Wingman down, ADS, and with the Bulldog only returning to 1 kill. So 3 rounds now being the difference for EG versus Sentinels, 10-7. Their attack side flourishing, looking large and in charge.
And a reminder that, yeah, even though there are 2 champions-winning players in this match, this is a 0-3 team currently, EG beating the winners of Masters Madrid.
Yeah.
It's a slim lead, but at the moment, they're in control of this game in the 3rd map. After a belter of a comeback, 10-2 down on Bind.
Might see another bit of a coin flip here. Fight potential's there for it to take place. Second plays down that boombot nice and early, taking a lot of damage right through the box. This player's going to be pushed off these angles. Disrespect showcase. This is TenZ. Realizing he can't give up this space, and he is going to get himself a kill.
And this is a fantastic pick for Sen to get, because it does push EG now to make a kind of decision. You know, the plan A has failed. So how good does plan B look? Apot's found the timing up here. There's no trip. John's got to be aware that that is a gap.
No way.
And Apot continues his excellent gun skill all throughout today.
And this is going to sow chaos into the mix, into the ranks of it. Rolling thunder forwards, Apot! So I don't know where second is. He lands it. Perfectly precise there with that shot, and so he survives and lives another day. There's 55 seconds left in this round. EG do have some options available to them. Now they seek to slow it down.
Zelsis on the other side of the map has been clearing out B main, clearing out market, just walking around trying to allow Zekken and Sassy to stay on A.
All comes down to the timing of this one. The crosshair placement, Sassy. He was on it before, but just getting off it for a moment as the smokes were fading. A kill allowed.
30 seconds left.
Offward up now, 2 versus 2. Nade flying through. There's definitely 2 flashes here, so Zekken can work off of this one. A peek from the first, denying this plan from really going down. EG feeling like they have to take these fights down. It's only 17 seconds. Superman winning it out. Fault line, pushing them back and away. Zelsis! No chance. EG 11-7. They are dismantling Sentinels in so many of these rounds.
Nature and Apoth here just look so calm on cam. The way that they played that clutch situation towards the end is excellent. What an avenue for Apoth to find an opening. But look at this.
Yeah.
Superman, Nature, they tap the plant a couple times, bait that out. All of the utility from Zelsis baited, the peak baited from Zekken. Zelsis doesn't swing with. And they separate a 2v2 into 2 individual 2v1s. EG are 4 rounds ahead.
Here.
Sentinels have already lost 1 game. They're going to need more than just a fan support as well. Crowd is going to be behind them here, but they've got to string up a nice set of few rounds to try and even it up against this EG squad, but they are not letting loose.
I think the 0 point there from Zelsis spotted 2, maybe even 3 players. Derek's getting all
Oh, way! And you can feel it, it's overzealous in its nature.
Face your fear!
Finalizing and finishing it. All of the util, all of the ults, cutting away these sound cues. Sassy, he's deafened. He's got to rely on the rest of his team here with the double face, the satchel through and away. Sassy, lucky to be alive. TenZ, top of the box. He's earned himself at least opportunity.
Here.
A breather for his team.
This was a 5v3 for EG. Potter is going to have nightmares if they lose this round.
Spike has been dropped down as well. These bullets are flying right through the box and maybe into the heads of these players. EG getting peppered into the approach. The angle will be a watch for TenZ. It's going to be all day long. Now with the paranoia. Triple face. Moving away. A pop. Deleted TenZ. 1 more will do it. 1 removed. Derek traded out.
5v3 again.
One of my cameras is broken.
If this marks a turning point for EG and Sen managed to rally back,
It's fine.
after they got 2 opening picks, baiting out the reclear from Sen, which didn't have enough utility behind it.
No way.
Potter won't be able to look at
Enemy
a
remaining.
VOD of this for a month. She'll feel sick every time she looks.
Stunned into shock, I guess.
Yeah, that's how ice cold Tens is.
Yeah.
No reaction, he expected to win. No, that really is the early round. It worked. You got up into a 5v3. It's just about closing things out.
That's been the difficulty for them. Sentinels, though, these players have been put in these spots before. They've even come back from worse.
There's my buddy.
The Dizzy grabs info, but actually not great at being able to put flash pressure onto those EG players. They both dodged the Dizzy. And meanwhile, Apoth is getting a mid for free, man.
Almost every single round.
So many of these rounds, there's not really that sense of... the couple rounds that Sen have tried to run some kind of mid re-clear, it's been when the whole of EG are in mid, not the lurker.
Yeah.
So Apoth really isn't going to punish for this. There's also a cam that John Curie could be using that's in market that sees the toes of anybody walking through mid, but they've not gone for that one. Trip broken in market, but there's a second trip here. So nobody needs to play market just yet.
Cross is still going to be watched for.
Oh, and actually, it's not an info trip, it's a kill trip.
Yeah.
So you do still need to keep eyes on it.
Just onto the feet.
Cage triggered.
Apoth. He's taking these fights. I mean, he does not shy away from it. This time, though, Zekken will be the recipient on the other end of things. He will survive as well and give that advantage now over towards his team. EG, in the midst of
30
all of this, though,
seconds
they did get that A site.
One of our first opportunities to see Sentinels full A retake. And it's deadly.
They've got the full kit.
EG needs something to disrupt.
They do indeed.
Oh,
I mean,
and this is it.
no way.
Oh, my.
Moving around the smoke.
What an insane play.
What is going on here? Waiting for it to fade. I mean, tens in his face. It's going to be cleaned up by, I mean, evened up 1 for 1. Still with that showstopper. It's sent flying through. Zekken, Fuse, falling short of the mark there. Not for the kill, EG. They're finding all of them. It's still Sassy defusing hard, but eventually shut down in their tracks. It's 12-8. And EG now. We said they need to not let it slip. There's opportunities. And that was honestly like a 4v5, right? Apoth went down early.
I mean, they shouldn't have been able to win that one. It's a 4v5 where Zekken's coming back in with a retake with his showstopper online as well. Jorg, this is such a cool idea to get into this spot, but that actually allows the rest of his team to dominate A link. The retake comes through from spawn.
Let's go! Kill short.
How much it means.
Yeah, the rest of the post-plant players just fighting there. We're already into the
way! I mean, Zekken is so quick onto it. The approach here, the fault line, not enough to slow him down from getting that kill. But again, advantages. What do they really even mean in a match like this? I've seen both sides converting them, even when they're a player down.
There is a 3-player stack on B. Sentinels reading the fact that this reaction would come in this side of the map. As Zekken's starting to lean away. But the fact that the trips have not yet been dealt with, I mean, this one close to the choke point Jorg should be able to deal with it with the blast pack. Breaking the cam first.
Satchel out.
Goes back around the corner, worried about some sort of trap play that could be on the cards here. Tens, shotgun, Judge, not able to get it off there. Not even a single shot. I mean, Derek winning that out is imperative. Sassy, hoping to catch the backstab here. A lot of noise being made. And Sassy could be that difference maker. They TP players in. They think it's fully cleared out. They're looking in the complete wrong direction. Backs around the corner now. Rocket at the feet. Have to claim this kill.
30 seconds
For
left.
them now, just 2 standing for Sentinels. The guns aren't good. And 1 round will do it.
Spike planted.
Turning point in the series, in the map overall. Superman smoke, drop down. John finds it. Doubled up now with him and Celsius spamming and spraying away with a Neurofeft will reveal these positions, and Jorgamo forced to respect it. He backs away now.
C's caught onto John.
But it all comes down to this. C's will slow them down. Knife against it close. They're going to do it with just that sub-par weaponry. All down to the fight. Celsius comes alive.
I That's outrageous that Sen keep themselves alive there. It was all set up. Alley-oop for the EG slam dunk, and they couldn't get it across the line. To be honest, though, that doesn't feel like as much of an opportunity wasted compared to what we were looking at previously. Bit rough from Superman there, but it's nice on the flash, and the shots are just so good from Zelsis after he managed to pick up a better weapon. They came into that with double stingers. So all right, Sen keep themselves alive, and EG gonna take an eco, gonna try to build up. They are so close to the Nightfall, to the Rolling Thunder. They're gonna get those online in a rifle round at some point, so they can take this eco. It's not important for them to win round 22.
Money's dodgy on either side, to be honest, with how little players ended up surviving into it. Apop again disrespectful. Up through the gut into mid. B main still being locked down here by Sen, but it's a reclear with that fault line. Zekken eager to take that fight again inside the cage, and Zelsis has made a sound cue with it. Has to flash and disengage and back away. They're crunching these players onto the site. This is where they're going to be feeling that heat again. Mid-net match. Not quite ships in the night, but rat-a-tat-tat go the rifles. Rat-a-tat-tat goes the guns. And a flash into the corner. The fake TP will not evade that capture. It's Sentinels here. Once more in charge of this round, Nature realizing it.
But like I said, Brent, EG do not need to win that round. They would have liked to do some damage, for sure, and keep Sen's economy low, which they didn't really accomplish. But they've now got up to Nightfall. They're one away from Rolling Thunder. This is the round for EG to get things across the line and pull off a huge upset in Super Week.
Arguably our biggest one that we've seen.
I mean, mate,
Americas.
how did NRG Lev become such a stinker and this become the match of the week?
Yeah, you just can't predict it.
It's outrageous, isn't it?
Sentinels are going to put a stop to it, though, for EG. Bit of redemption for this stage one for them, I think, as well, with how close they've been to numerous moments of glory.
Double trip setup into market.
Nightfall. Any tags avoided, dodged away. John QT still got all the sound cues available to him here with the trips. Broken tens in the off angle. Don't expect him to be playing that one, but a fire is returned almost immediately.
Apot's been so sharp today. These players are in on B. Do they realize at all how deep Jorg
They're
is?
running with the knives out, running with the knives out.
Oh, he gets away with it. And yet, still didn't realize where Jorgamo is. Jorgamo might have a clue that he's got the round-winning position right in his hands.
Fox independent. So many moments have just come down to these timings right now, here and now. Jorgamo, could he be that difference maker? From behind here, dizzied up. He's going to be acknowledged at least and recognized that he is going to be playing into this
Rolling Thunder.
position. What the Sentinels do, Rolling Thunder push them back. The time is going to be buying them a bit more for work with here for EG. They're going to be backing away now in through B main, and a re-clear of market is essential. Mosh pit has to be committed. Jorgamo pushed back away from Pillar with the flash as well. Stands his ground but backs away, and he's still alive here. Fault line, it's perfect. And it feels like it's just slowly tightening around him. Sen, they're going to power through this one with brute force at its core. Gunfight needs to be won. And all of this comes down to one. Derek, Sassy with a defuse, have on it, but EG have done it.